Hello everybody and welcome to Talking City's live stream of tonight's friendly match between Melbourne City and the Bentleigh Greens. We are here at the Kingston Heath Soccer Complex. My name is Matty Benici. I'm joined by Matt McIndoe. Mate, it's a good night for football. How good is it?
Apart from being very cold, it is an awesome night to be here. We're love to be down here at Kingston Heath Reserve. We've got to say it firstly, a massive shout out to Sportscast Australia. They came on board at very late notice to help us put this all together. So a massive thank you to Sportscast. Also a huge thank you to the club for helping us get this off the ground. It's awesome to be able to bring you live coverage of games when people can't make it. So massive thank you to you guys first up. And it's a fantastic opponent to be playing tonight, isn't it, in the NPL? Bentleigh Greens is a top 3 team currently. They're in a bit of a poor run of form, but they're still an NPL powerhouse. What do you think today, Matty?
Yeah, look, you make a very good point. They are an NPL powerhouse. Recently won the championship a few years ago. You know, with John Anastasiadis heading off to Western United and UL heading there with him. You know, it's left a bit of a gap, I think, for them. But they're still a good side, and they should be a tough competition for our boys tonight. After coming off a pretty good run of games, we had obviously the FFA Cup win against Campbelltown City and a friendly the week before against Oakley. You know, so 2 good wins for us. But tonight should prove a pretty good test. Are you feeling confident?
I am. I think this is going to be a great test for our guys early this pre-season. We run into Cannons on a massive winning streak, so we played them. We played well, considering we were 2 weeks into pre-season. To get the result is always big. To beat Campbelltown, who is one of the best NPL sides in the country, is always a great win in the Cup. To come here against Bentleigh, who, yeah, as I said, they are in a bit of a poor run of form, but I watched them on Friday. They deserve 3 points. It was a tight game, and unlucky for them, old mate Mate. He came up and he played well. To touch on their departures, yeah.
Hello everybody and welcome to Talking City's live stream of tonight's friendly match between Melbourne City and the Bentleigh Greens. We are here at the Kingston Heath Soccer Complex. My name is Matty Benici. I'm joined by Matt McIndoe. Mate, it's a good night for football. How good is it?
Apart from being very cold, it is an awesome night to be here. We're love to be down here at Kingston Heath Reserve. We've got to say it firstly, a massive shout out to Sportscast Australia. They came on board at very late notice to help us put this all together. So a massive thank you to Sportscast. Also a huge thank you to the club for helping us get this off the ground. It's awesome to be able to bring you live coverage of games when people can't make it. So massive thank you to you guys first up. And it's a fantastic opponent to be playing tonight, isn't it, in the NPL? Bentleigh Greens is a top 3 team currently. They're in a bit of a poor run of form, but they're still an NPL powerhouse. What do you think today, Matty?
Yeah, look, you make a very good point. They are an NPL powerhouse. Recently won the championship a few years ago. You know, with John Anastasiadis heading off to Western United and UL heading there with him. You know, it's left a bit of a gap, I think, for them. But they're still a good side, and they should be a tough competition for our boys tonight. After coming off a pretty good run of games, we had obviously the FFA Cup win against Campbelltown City and a friendly the week before against Oakley. You know, so 2 good wins for us. But tonight should prove a pretty good test. Are you feeling confident?
I am. I think this is going to be a great test for our guys early this pre-season. We run into Cannons on a massive winning streak, so we played them. We played well, considering we were 2 weeks into pre-season. To get the result is always big. To beat Campbelltown, who is one of the best NPL sides in the country, is always a great win in the Cup. To come here against Bentleigh, who, yeah, as I said, they are in a bit of a poor run of form, but I watched them on Friday. They deserve 3 points. It was a tight game, and unlucky for them, old mate Mate. He came up and he played well. To touch on their departures, yeah, Valentino Yule, I saw him here round 1 against South Melbourne, and he was comfortably best on ground. 2 goals that night. He scored a brace on 3 occasions this season before leaving. So he is a massive, massive loss for them, and Western United's massive gain. Looks like it will be a good contest here. The pitch is in great condition. As I said, the only downside is how cold it is, Matty.
Yeah. Yep, so we've had a bit of a chat about the Bentleigh boys, so let's turn our attention to our guys. As we did say before, we did come off a win during the week last week against Campbelltown City. A couple of really distinct performers. You know, so the wingers, for a start, I think it's probably best to touch on there because it's great to see some real wingers in this Melbourne City team again. And between Craig Noon, Javier Cabrera and Adrian Luna last week, we saw a couple of assists, a fantastic belter of a goal from Craig Noon, and it was all around great stuff. Another talking point tonight was between that game and now, we've seen Mark Birighitti leave the club for Central Coast. So I'm not sure if that's officially announced, but that's the assumption. And today we announced the signing of Tom Glover. So why don't you have a little bit of a chat about Tom Glover? Tell us what you think. He was at Central Coast, I believe, last year. Pretty decent pickup for us, I think.
Yeah, he's a fantastic young Australian keeper, and people will have their negative comments about his time at Central Coast, but no one in the defensive half of that field is going to be good in that Central Coast team, and that really hurt his stock, I believe. But he's definitely a very good keeper here, and I think he'll challenge Bouzanis. Not quite as much as Speedy thought, but I think we'll see some pretty good competition for positions. Just to touch on that, we will go through the starting lineup tonight for Melbourne City. So Bouzanis is preferred to start the game. I cannot read your writing.
Okay, if you like, I'll take that over. It's a good start. All right, so we've got Bouzanis starting in goals. We've got Atkinson. Oh, this is my assumed starting lineup. Atkinson at right back. Jamison should line up at left back with Wynn-Bickler and Good in the middle. The rest of the team we have on the team sheet are Brillante and Metcalf, who you'd assume will line up in the central of midfield, and Cabrera, Luna and Noon, who you think would make up that front three behind the striker, who will be Jamie McLaren. So that's the starting 11 we're going to see for the first half of the game. Who we'll see for the second half is we're up in the air at the moment. There should be a little bit of rotation, but we should get a look at a bit more of the depth in the squad. You spoke well about Tom Glover there. I think he's a very savvy pickup by the club. The guy's got experience in Premier League academies, so I'm personally pretty happy to come in. He should have some good competition with Dean Bouzanis for that spot. You know, two other guys who are in the starting lineup tonight who I think have had a pretty good run the last couple of weeks. You know, you've got to look at Brillante and Metcalf. Metcalf has been a real bolter in the pre-season. There's been a lot of talk about the fact that he's really impressed Eric Monbats. What have you made of Connor's start the last few games?
I think we're seeing a very calm, confident player, which you wouldn't expect from such a young head in this league. So he's definitely showing his class, and our good friend of the show, Rodney. There's nobody more excited for the youth coming through than old Rodders. So it's good to see Connor starting to repay some of that faith. I think we're seeing a very good player starting to bloom. If he has a good year, who knows? We could have another Arzani on our hands in a bit more of a different role. So we won't be as exciting, but we should see some promise. Just to touch on that before we get too far off, tonight's game is a little bit different to the Oakley Cannons game. We are playing 2 45-minute halves, not 3 40-minute periods. So we would expect the starting lineup to probably, I think, about 60 or 70 minutes. And then I think we'll start to see some rotations similar to the Cup game, with everything ramping up towards general play. The wingers who we have picked up, as Matty touched on, are fantastic quality. Craig Noon, already probably the goal of the Cup, I think. To put that in, it's a pretty big effort in your first competitive game. You know, both Argentinians getting an assist. There's not much more you can ask for from a debut than that. Anything else you'd like to touch on them?
Yeah, mate, just before we move off, I guess, you know, the centre of defence, we're going to see a different partnership here with Curtis Good lining up next to Richard Wynn-Bickler. I hope I've pronounced that correctly. So that should be an interesting partnership. Wynn-Bickler, obviously coming over from Asia, you know, a lot of experience in the Champions League and in Korea, which is a very tough league. So quite interested to see how he does with his first start. But otherwise, mate, I'm just keen to go.
Yeah, it's time.
All right, no worries. Well, we'll see you at the kickoff shortly. Guys, and we are live now with the Talking City feed of the game tonight. My name is Matty. I'm joined by Matt. How you going, mate?
It's still cold.
Yeah, still cold.
You've just watched our pre-game chat. It's still very, very cold, but we're off and running here, and it's looking like a fantastic night to play football. Not necessarily watch, but play. It
is. And as we've started off here, just it's pretty nothing much happening so far. Bentleigh just sort of passing around in the back half, so we haven't missed anything with our slightly delayed joining to the game there. We didn't miss a goal in the first 20 seconds. Thank goodness for that.
So I think tonight we're going to see a City side that wants to try and hold the ball, something we couldn't do against Campbelltown. And we're going to see a Bentleigh side that's hell-bent on getting a result and pushing themselves forward.
Yeah, look, it'd be pretty important for Bentleigh, I think, for their confidence, given the fact they are in a bit of a poor run over the last few weeks, as we have discussed pre-game, to potentially knock off a pretty good opposition in Melbourne City and give themselves a bit of momentum for the rest of the season. And obviously for us tonight, it's very important just to continue the strong start to the pre-season we've had, and you know, continue to develop as we head towards the season proper in a month and a half. What is it now?
Yeah, apparently, speaking of which, apparently the fixtures are going to be released on Thursday, so that's exciting for all of us to start planning our away trips and start planning our season.
Yes, yes.
We can see here City are now starting to hold the ball and starting to look to play forward. Looks like Curtis Good there playing it out wide.
Scott Jamieson.
Scotty trying to play a nice little ball through, but the Bentleigh defence is too strong for that ball.
Yeah, back out to touchdown. It's thrown in. Looks like Metcalf there playing it back, and now Richard Wingbickler, and then out to Curtis Good again. So just playing it around a little bit here at the back. Oh, that might be Wingbickler there. I've misspoken.
Yeah,
already,
that is Wingbickler sitting back. That's something that we're going to see a lot of this season with Josh Bolante dropping back to try and get the ball and start something in that defensive third. He's not just going to sit a little bit higher like Bratton did.
Yeah, he's a real good link player, Josh Bolante, especially sort of connecting that back four and then moving it forward into the midfield. Does a lot of cleaning up there as well when a team is out of possession. So I think he's a real all-action type that we might have lacked a little bit in the last few years. Who will partner up with him will be really interesting, because I think having a really neat playmaker next to Brillante would be a great way for us to line up this season. But we'll see how that all works out.
So here now we're seeing that high press that we've come to expect from City sides over the last couple of years starting to take effect, with McLaren going to run his guts off all night, I think. So we should see a good forward first from the what's the word I'm looking for? Forward press tonight from the boys. And we're a few weeks into pre-season now, so now's when we're going to start to expect to see a little bit more from the players.
Yep.
Pretty talented bench as well, by the way, as you just saw.
No, it is. There's a lot of players there that can come on and obviously offer a little bit of attacking impetus and defensive solidarity. So that's good, because depth is, as we know, important in this league. You only have 23 spots to use, I think. So, you need to make sure you get a lot of support there. And we're moving forward. I think that might have been an offside call against Jamie McLaren. Ball over the top. And that'll be a Bentleigh possession. So, yeah, as you said before, Matt, it looks like a fair bit of really high pressing from us so far, trying to cause turnovers, forcing Bentleigh back to the keeper a fair bit. As you say, it's been a hallmark of us the last couple of years, but I think hopefully that'll be in conjunction with some good possession play on the front foot this season. And we force a turnover here, but looks like the referee is going to call a foul.
Yeah, very clear push there, two-hander push to the side for no apparent gain.
Oh, no, mate, that wasn't a free kick at all. What you're talking about. Absolutely disgraceful.
Where's Boswell when you need him?
Bentleigh just looking to settle here and move it up the pitch.
So speaking of Bentleigh, they are a powerhouse of the Victorian NPL. Actually, we'll come back to that in just a moment. We've got the boys stepping forward here.
Luna out to Cabrera, but the ball is behind him. It's going to go out for touch. Sorry, Matty, where were you at there?
So we're looking at Bentleigh here, who are an NPL powerhouse here in Victoria. They're having a bit of a tough run of form, but they're still sitting third on the table, and they still are a chance to push themselves as high as possible. And they've also got to hold off the fight with Green Gully, because they are only 1 point behind them in fourth place. So it's probably come at the wrong time for Bentleigh, but it's a very important hit out for them nonetheless.
That's a free kick won by Connor Metcalf, I think, there.
And he plays it quick. Connor plays it out wide to the left. Jamo plays it forward to Craig Noon. Craig Noon on the ball, looking to take someone on. Back to Metcalf. Metcalf gets tackled from behind, and Bentleigh win possession here. So it looks like Bentleigh aren't afraid of going forward, and they're not trying to push as hard as quick. They're trying to play a bit more of a constructive build-up. They're not trying to waste the long ball. They're trying to work in conjunction with their own setup. So this will be a good test of City to try and break down a very strong lineup and a strong structure. So this will be a real good test. And
look, Bentleigh have been typically pretty good in their build-up over the last few years in the NPL, so I would expect tonight, once again, given the fact that they're in a bit of a dip of form, they are going to push to try to impose their style of play in the game and get themselves back into a good run. So I wouldn't expect any different from them tonight.
Yeah, as we see here, we've got some fantastic shots, and once again, a huge thank you to Sportscast Australia, who have come on board to help bring this stream to life. Without them, it's not possible, so a huge thank you to them. And we look forward to enjoying the coverage that we are getting. The amount of cameras, the amount of support that we've got here is amazing. And
it's fantastic.
We look forward to kind of showcasing what they can do and showcasing how our boys are going to play this game. So we see here City coming forward on the ball. There's a bit of a tussle there with Metcalf. He's not winning that battle yet. Still a bit too small to be taking on grown men one-on-one, I think.
tiny bit harsh on the big fella Metcalf there. Well held off by Curtis Good. And
They've kept it
he's
in.
turned him as well. I thought he'd won a goal kick there, but he's actually turned him, and he's just sat him down. No, it's
used a little bit of extra play though to sit him down, but definitely broke those ankles. So nice to see a bit of Curtis Good on the ball, showing he's a bit more comfortable, because last year he was coming back from. He's had a pretty horror run of injuries. Let's be honest. Once he left Hart, he hasn't had much luck. So it's good to see him finally getting some more confidence in his body and starting to play again.
Yeah, a couple of years in the wilderness in the Newcastle reserves, are basically just recovering from injury after injury and not being able to get in any substantial run of form. So it is good to see him back. And Bentleigh going to take a corner now. It's whipped in, and it's headed away. That's going to be that's
goal kick.
That should be a goal kick, I think.
There we go. They've won the goal kick well.
Yep.
That's one thing we see in the A-League, but not in the NPL. We don't see many short corners, but yet the A-League loves a short corner. So
they do.
It's a bit funny, but I wonder if we'll start to see a bit more. Like, from memory, City only took 1 or 2 actual put it into the box corners last week in their cup game. So it looks like Eric is definitely a fan of these short corners. So we'll see that continue, I think, this year.
Okay,
so one player from Bentleigh before we go too far into this, as we're playing it around the back. One player to keep an eye on tonight is Matt Thurtell. He's an absolute beast for Bentleigh, and he's playing to a very high standard even in the NPL. He's scored 15 goals so far this season, and he's 4th in the Golden Boot. In a side that is struggling at times, he has scored 15 goals so far, and he's looking very strong. So he's one to keep an eye on. He's definitely A-League standard. It's just a surprise no one's taken a punt on him.
Yeah, he's been a real outlet for them. And obviously, you mentioned pre-game Valentino Yule. He with Thurtell were putting together a pretty formidable partnership. But now that Yule's moved on to the expansion side in Western United, it's left Thurtell by himself there.
Yeah, and that Western United side has poached a little bit here from Bentleigh, so we are expecting them to be quite good.
More possession by City, just holding it up, moving across the back 4 now. And attempted pass there by Cabrera was a bit short.
We're seeing that a couple times here on this right side of the field, where they're trying to play these balls, but they're just behind him. They've got to give him that little bit of space to run into. That is a monster throw there by the Bentleigh Greens left back.
It's Rory Delap-esque, if Christian Legis is listening.
That's a good battle there for Connor. He was able to hold that one up against the bigger body.
An absolute punt there by Brillante. And that was a little bit better. And it's a nice deft touch there by Luna, and he's almost going to win a touch. No, it's not. Bentleigh come away up the wing here. Nice little forward foray here from Bentleigh, but it's cut out.
Quick release there attempted by Metcalf, but the pass wasn't on there. He had to play it quick, but he's got to have his time about him.
That's a pretty poor pass, though, there.
Correct.
Yeah.
And that's where you see the poise of Brillante, where he's got 3 players around him, but he still takes the time to make sure his pass is exactly where he wants to go. Yeah. So now we're starting to see City try and play a bit more of their game, a bit more possession in the build-up. It's something we're going to see a lot of tonight, with Bentleigh trying to play in between the lines and play those early balls. So they're very, very quick wingers. So we can see here City are passing it around the back, getting a bit of possession.
Yep, switching it across to the right wing now, and it's going to be Cabrera on the ball. Likes to run at players. Let's see what he does here. Just sort of brings it inside and plays it back off to wing Bickler.
I like that, though, because it's good to see him coming so far back to get on the ball. We saw it at Oakley. Whenever he got it, even on that wet and slippery night, his first instinct was to take the player on. So
yes, he's very aggressive.
Once we start to see a bit more from him, I think we'll see quite an impressive lineup, quite an impressive player, I should say.
It is something we have missed the last couple of years, a player that can kind of take guys on. As Bentleigh advance up the wing here, opportunity for a cross. It's in the area, and Buzanis comes out and cleans up very nicely. Well done, Dean. And here comes the king of distribution, plays it out into the middle, and it is turnover, unfortunately.
That's odd from Dino. He'll be unhappy with that when he sees that replay back later on.
He's very good by foot, is Dean Buzanis, so he will be disappointed with that. And Bentleigh obviously back on the ball here, recycling it a little bit. And so we'll try to move forward again.
That's one to touch on now. We've got some competition, or we've got some signing news, obviously, as everyone now knows, as we touched on earlier, with Birighitti departing the club to, I believe, Central Coast. It hasn't, as far as I'm aware, it hasn't been officially announced yet.
No. No.
But now we've signed young Tom Glover to come in, the former Spurs loanee. You know, he's going to give a bit of time here and give Bazanis a bit of a run for his money, I should say. Sorry, once he's got his feet.
It's a bit slack there from Nooney. But Glover does look a good addition. As you say, we did speak about him pre-game as we're seeing the replay here, and that's there wasn't much in that actually. I was a bit harsh on Craig there, I think. Glover's he's well credentialed. He's a former Tottenham Academy player, and spent a little bit of time down here, obviously with Central Coast, which really doesn't do anyone any favours. But I think he's a great young prospect, and he'll come in. He'll really push Dean Buzanis as Bentleigh play a ball into the area here. It's fallen out the back, but a nice easy collect for Dean, who goes the throw this time and hits his target. And now City will try to play out from the back.
So here's where we see City's poise on the ball again. They're starting to look forward. They're trying to find their passes. This is something that is a nice change compared to last year. They're not always looking for that safe sideways ball. Their first instinct is to look forward, and then if it's not on, to play something a bit safer. But that's something that I think is going to really excite the fans once this season kicks off and once everyone's playing. That's a lovely attempted ball through. Probably could have got a handball there, but well done by the Bentleigh defender.
Yep. And yeah, you do touch on that well, Matty, that last year I think there was a lot of side-to-side and backwards, and not quite a lot. So the quick switches we sort of seen from City in the pre-season as they force a turnover here, which will only end up in a goal kick, but quick switches from side to side across the back four, trying to stretch teams and really, really work those wide players. It really is a nice change, and it has been good to see so far. So far today, I'm not sure if cagey is the right word, but not a lot of chances really created by either side, feeling each other out a little bit, I think.
Not much expansive football is the way I think I'd look at it. It's definitely one side who's played a lot of games and then one side who's early in their pre-season, and this is really our third hit out. Third hit out for the boys in their fourth week of pre-season. So
definitely
we're expecting to see the process more than the result here tonight.
There's just some calm possession here across the back four, and Curtis Good looking to switch the play out to Cabrera. That's a lovely ball. Cabrera now, he's one-on-one here, so what will he do? He's played it through, and it's a turnover there. Not quite the pass he wanted, and Bentleigh are going to try to hit on the counter now. Atkinson tracking back well, forces a turnover. Well played.
Thank you to everyone who's joining us so far. There is a lot of you here tonight, and we really appreciate the support that you're showing us. If you want to see more of this during the preseason, we've got to support it, and this is the way to do it, to show that you're interested. And we really appreciate that. Any comments, we'll try and get to you when we can. So keep sending them through, and we'll try and get your input on the game.
Hit us up in the comments on our Facebook feed, and we'll try to get round to some of them. A bit risky here from Bentleigh, and they've just gotten that away. Ooh, almost forcing a turnover there. Some good pressing here from City. As Bentleigh will now try to play it out of the back.
So I can see here a comment. We can confirm Birighetti has signed for Central Coast. He's been training for a week. Thanks, Jesse. No, Matt Vandenberg. We will not give Johnny Sims a shout out on this stream. Well played though.
Oh, that's got to be a free kick. Red card.
Probably a bit early for a red card in a pre-season fixture, but I like it. There's a good crowd here tonight as well, as we see the cameras pan to it. There is quite a lot of people in for a very cold evening. Everyone's down here to enjoy the Suvas, so everyone who's here, it's fantastic. And there we go. There we see the replay of the free kick.
Tackle. That's a cynical tackle. Ref needs to take control of this game, I'm telling you, mate, before it gets out of hand.
We're 16 minutes in and we've already had, 3 ref comments from you, Matty? I think you think it's not a podcast, mate. You can't say this stuff.
Who have we got over the ball here, Matt?
That's a great question. I couldn't tell you from here, sorry.
The area, and I think that might have been either Cabrera or Luna, but it's a very long pass.
Yeah, I think he was counting for some wind resistance there that just didn't come.
No, not quite as much as he thought there would be. That's out, yep. So that'll come back. This is what we call an unbiased call, Matt. Straight down the line.
Here's something that I'm happy to see. Atkinson getting a run. Obviously, it comes from a bad situation with Scotty Galloway missing. We've actually had a chat with Scott. There's no damage. It's just a precaution to take the week off. So that's fantastic to hear. But, it is good to see the young guys get their opportunity and see what they can do. We've seen a fair bit of Atkinson last year, and I think he showed that for a majority of clubs in this league, he would be quite a high-level player and quite a starting player. So it's fantastic now to see him get an opportunity in this side, and hopefully he grabs it with two hands and makes it hard for Scotty, because any competition is fantastic.
Yeah, competition is what you want to see amongst all the players in the team, so the more of that, the better. We've got two very good right-back options there. Scott Galloway had a fantastic season last year, and that's a lovely ball over the top. Cabrera is on here now. Plays it in the area, and McLaren over the bar.
It's a very hard cross to do with there.
It was an awkward height.
It's not a great height to either header or volley, but, the pace it came in with, as we see here on the Sportscast Australia replay. He whips this in with venom, and Jamie couldn't do anything but cushion it over the bar. So it's good to see them getting that ball in, but we've kind of got to commit to one side here.
Oh, that was almost a very good ball there, just cut off by the Bentleigh defence.
So we see here, we're starting to see Bentleigh once again, once they get the ball, they're trying to play their controlled, attacking football. Ooh. That's a foul.
Yeah, it's a little clumsy.
Oh, no, he's giving it. Okay, that's all right.
No, he had to give that. That was a clumsy tackle there.
As we see here.
Oh, jeez.
That's Scotty Jamo. He's had a tough week for his tackles, hasn't he?
He has gave away a penalty against Campbelltown.
Stiff though. I'm on Jamo's side there. I think that was a bit stiff.
I didn't know if that was stiff. I thought that he probably didn't need to come across like that. I think when you give the referee the opportunity to make that call, you're leaving the door open, and I thought it probably wasn't a great tackle. But look, there wasn't heaps of contact. I'll pay that one. So Bentleigh just sort of moving it from side to side here, and they try the long diagonal out to the wing. I think it's going to be no. It's just stayed in. And they're going to have to play that back out. Good defence there from our boys, forcing him back to halfway. And Bentleigh will try again.
This is what you see from a powerhouse NPL side. They're not afraid of playing sides like Melbourne City, and they're not afraid to go backwards when they need to. And you're right, that is a beautiful long diagonal ball that they just couldn't control.
They do love those. They do love those so far. They're trying to stretch us out with those.
You're a bit of a Greens man, aren't you, Matty? I believe this is your NPL side.
I do follow Bentleigh in the NPL. I'm not going to pretend I'm an expert on the Bentleigh Greens. But, yeah, they are, I guess, my nominated NPL team. They've got great Suvas, mate, and that's part of the reason I do love a Bentleigh Suva. For those who have not had a Bentleigh Suva, there's not much like it. Those old open-top Suvas, they're fantastic.
It's not hard to impress a Matty or anybody named Matt on this podcast. As long as you've got good food, you've got us on board.
Yeah, that's it. Well, they say quickest way to a man's heart is through his stomach. Is that correct, Matt? Am I quoting that correctly?
I believe so, and it's definitely true for me.
Yeah. Still a little bit of possession play from the City boys, left to right, trying to open up some holes here in Bentleigh.
So don't forget, guys, this is brought to you by Talking City, which is a podcast. So during the season, we do provide weekly podcasts to talk about everything City.
Yep.
Everything a bit football related and have a bit of fun with it. So
yep.
If you are interested in it, and we are a part of the Podular Network, which is with the Daily Football Show. So we have some fantastic support from those guys who are the #1 football podcast in the country. And, if you haven't got yourself a podcast to listen to, I think Daily Football Show is one to go with.
And Talking City. And Matt, as you say, we are a podcast. We also put out articles pretty regularly. We have a nice small team of writers, Josh and Matt, nominally. They do a fantastic job. And if you're looking for more of our content, you can go to www.talkingcity.online. You can find our podcast there. You can find the articles we write, anything you need. You can also hit us up on Facebook and Twitter. So, yeah, if you're a Melbourne City fan, it's your one-stop shop for everything Melbourne City. And nice little bit of interplay there. And that was a lovely turn by Luna. Quick feet. Very nice. He plays it back out. And diagonal from City there. And I think that's going to not quite get to Craig Noon.
It's a bit windy for those diagonal balls at that end of the pitch. It's holding up a little bit too much, and it's just not going to get across quick enough.
As a couple of locals go past with their Suvas. And I'm sure you're hungry there, Matt.
Look, I know that's a bit of a fat crack, and I'll cop it.
No,
but I am definitely hungry.
It was not a fat crack. It was just you were lining up for one earlier, and you know, you'd made a comment about how nice they smelt, and I just sort of thought that it was a bit unfair for people to walk past you with about 4 of them.
Look, I think the biggest problem is we're sportscasters. We'll come back to this as we see a lovely ball played through, but Atkinson couldn't get through. That's the other good thing we're seeing so far before we go back to our topic about Suvers. The fullbacks aren't afraid to link up, and the wingers aren't afraid to sit back to let them link up, so it's fantastic.
Yeah.
But just to touch on that, yeah, sportscast, as much as I am loving them, they did set us up right next to the canteen, so all I can smell is souvlaki. So it's not helping the cravings, but unfortunately I had to pay for the other Matt and his his partner to come into the ground, so I don't have souvlaki money anymore.
Oh, that's
fantastic shot there from the Greens.
Close to being a goal for Bentleigh, but Dean Bazar's probably an easy save before it was done, but yes.
That's our first real shot of the game that we've seen, and it's a real warning shot to City not to get complacent because they are good and more than good enough to
look at the trajectory on that
sword.
ball out from Bazanis. Fantastic stuff. Oh, that was very close. Windbickler, nice feet. Gets it out of there. Probably could have drawn a free kick, but play on.
Brillante's dropped back here to cover him at fullback, at centre back, sorry, to allow him to hold that ball. And we now see it played back to Bazanis.
As we see the Bentleigh shot here on the Sportscast replay, and that is a pretty decent save from Bazanis. Regulation, but kept it out of the goal. So
definitely happier to see him make that compared to that one he let through at Oakley. I think that was a bit soft. The ball that went straight over his head. So I'm happy to see him back making stops.
You're not talking about the one from like 40
No,
yards
not that one. His first goal.
No.
His first goal.
Oh, yeah, that one, yeah.
Matt, to answer your question in the comments here, the Bentleigh Suva, I would say, is better than the old Amy Park sausage stand.
Look, the sausage stand was good, but these Suvas, Matt, I'm telling you.
Oh, they're amazing.
There's something else.
You've got to give them a crack.
There's something else.
But it's a good competition and good questions to have.
We do miss the sausage stand.
It's cool. We can see here someone streaming in from the UK. Welcome, Paul. Hope you enjoy it.
Oh, thanks, Paul.
Unfortunately, we haven't been provided a Bentleigh lineup, hence why we don't have their names. So we apologise in advance if that is frustrating. It's not the best, but unfortunately we've just got to go with what we've got.
If you're a Bentleigh fan tuning in, you're probably not going to be very fond of us at the moment.
There's plenty of you, though, so please do stick around. We love you.
Yeah, we do have a lot of time for the Bentleigh side.
So here we go. We're back into that bit of a holding pattern of City controlling the ball. And as soon as I say that, he plays a long through ball searching for J Mac up front.
Header only as far as Metcalf.
Thank you. Continue.
Yeah. And Connor Metcalf now, he's played through and he's going to pull it back. And surprising that no one could get a touch on that there. That was a packed area. But as Bentleigh try to clear, we remain on the ball now. And,
he's been held off the ball there. I'm surprised that's not a free kick.
Thought Noon might have been obstructed there, but the ref has let play go on.
And here we go. We get another look at that cross from Metcalf. You can see it just misses its target by about 1 metre, which stops it from being put home. Just a little bit behind them.
Yeah.
Ooh. See Metcalf. He's definitely moving himself around the pitch, and this is something we saw in the Cup game. He pushed himself hard for about 70 minutes and then
ran out of gas.
Yeah, was very tanked by that point. So it's something we're going to see more of him, and I think once he builds that tank, he's going to turn himself into a very elite midfielder in this league.
You could see in the Campbelltown game, look, these NPL sides at this point of the season are a lot fitter than the A-League sides, and Campbelltown did sort of start to throw a lot at us towards the last 10 minutes, but we were able to hit them on the counter and seal it up right near the end there. But yeah, fitness is going to be a problem in some of these friendlies until the boys get their season legs, I guess. At the moment, they're still very, very fresh into it. So even tonight, I would expect Bentleigh to probably run this out a little bit better. But we have started off quite well so far. And Connor Metcalf, I don't think you can say enough positive stuff about this kid. He's a good size for his age too. He's really come on quite well in this pre-season. And by the looks of it, Matty, I think he'll have a bit of a part to play in the first team this year.
Well, he's getting a lot of faith shown in him currently. He's keeping Roston Griffiths out of the starting 11.
Some good interplay here from Bentleigh, but they've turned it over. That was a slack pass.
We see Nathaniel trying to make something happen. He passes it here to Windbickler, who's looking forward to early to play that ball, but just doesn't get the lift on it and puts it straight into the back of the Bentleigh left back. But that's positive. I'm loving to see the centre back and the full backs working together to try and play it forward. It's something that we've been missing, so it's good to see some more pushing forward from our boys and the automatic thought to go forward.
That's a cute comment on YouTube from John Papa Simeon. I'm not going to repeat it. Yeah, very well played. All right. Just completely thrown.
It almost got me. I almost read that one out. So
yeah,
I'm glad you said something.
Yeah. Oh. So I slowed down a little bit here. Just City playing it around the back four at the moment.
Yeah, so we're about 26 minutes in. The clock is slightly behind, but roughly around that 26, 27-minute mark.
The BT 50 clock.
BT 50 clock. Yeah, get around your local BT 50 in your group chats. He adds a lot of value with his half plus. Good tags as well. He's a good man.
He's a good man. And starting to sort of move into the midfield now. Some nice passing interchanges, and that's Metcalf there. He's done very well. Cabrera plays it into the area, but the Bentleigh defender gets in between McLaren and the ball.
The wind's held it up though. He's got another chance to put it in, and he hits the head of, it looks like it was Luna there, but unfortunately just a little bit too short for that ball. The boys are still on the front foot here trying to press. It's put back into the area, and it's just over McLaren's head.
It is very windy. If you can hear it against the mics at the moment. So the ball goes back in, and it is cleared. And Bentleigh just hoofed that out towards halfway now. And City do stay on the ball here. But a nice passage of play there. Very offensive, putting a few balls into the area. It is quite windy down here, so some of those balls are falling a bit off their targets. But a nice period of intent there from the City boys.
The footwork there from Metcalf started that whole thing with a quick, neat little cut back to his left foot that played the ball through and didn't break stride. He probably should have got it back rather than that first cross. So we're still seeing some early passes needing to be played. But here we are, Metcalf back on the ball. He's looking forward, plays Cabrera in, cuts it back to McLaren, who puts it wide. So there we go. It looks like our intent tonight is to put it out wide and get that early cross into to McLaren. And as we see here on the replay, Metcalf holding that ball up well, competing, putting it into Cabrera, who fires a nice cross, and McLaren just missing. Just to answer your question, Thomas, we are going to have a little show during halftime, and we are going to actually give you an exclusive interview with Craig Noon that hasn't been played as of yet. So look out for that one.
Yep. And, you know, they turned the ball. I wanted to get into a chat about Metcalf there, but it's going to have to wait.
Metcalf's on here.
Oh, he's had a pop there. That's a good save, though. And, if we can end up with the ball again. No. Metcalf has really been the main threat so far for City. He's been playing, you know, the ball into his feet and getting it out nice and quickly. Had a fantastic shot there as Noon has a hit. That's another save. City peppering the goals at the moment. But Bentleigh do survive, and they're going to try to move the ball out here on the counter.
The game's gone up a notch here. There's a few more shots flying in. That's a smart foul there by Metcalf.
Yeah, he has been fantastic so far on both sides of the ball. But he just has such quick feet for a young player. It's good to see.
Yeah, I think this is what we want to see from our boys here today. A bit of positive play and a bit of it coming together. As I said, we're not expecting the finished product yet, but we are hoping to see some more steps towards it. We can confirm Delbridge is not playing today, by the way. He is 1 metre away from us. I think he's got a craving for a Suva too.
Robocop. He is a big man.
Our boy.
Del Boy.
Speaking there was a question here about some more signings. We are hearing rumours that Welbeck is on the way,
yes.
But I believe that is pretty far-fetched considering I think we've filled all 5 visa spots. But
there is a guest spot available. Danny Welbeck would certainly fill a guest spot.
Would he meet FFA metrics? They've been pretty harsh on those guest spots.
Well, I think Danny Welbeck is one of the biggest names in world football. Fantastic striker. Very good pedigree.
So here we go. We come back to that shot of replay. Great save there by the Bentleigh keeper. That was definitely moving in the air.
And Bentleigh do have a set piece here, a corner. So another opportunity for them to put some pressure on City's goal. Ball into the area. It's going to go to the back stick. And that ricochets out. Is it going to be a goal kick? It is. So City regain possession there as we see the Sportscast replay here. It's come off the Bentleigh player there and out for a goal kick for City.
Cheeky asking for the corner, but I love it. That's what we want.
You've always got to ask, Matt. You've always got to ask. As Buzanis plays it short.
So that's where we're seeing the new laws of the game coming into it, with them being able to play it inside the box.
Yes.
So there is a lot of positives coming into football this year. I think the big one. Well, hang on.
Jesus,
Bentleigh's got
we've made a mess of this.
Bentleigh's got it here on the edge of the box. They're looking to play forward, but look how quick City's got back there. They're going to struggle to find an open player to get the shot off, and now we see them back to halfway to try and squeeze City out. So yeah, I think the big thing I'm looking forward to this year is to see how VAR comes in again this year with a bit more experience. So we're hoping to see a bit more quality from the VAR, which is something the Premier League is going to have to get used to as well. But there's a lot of new rules or new laws in football this year, which are going to be very interesting to how they affect the game.
Yes, the old VAR.
Everybody's favourite.
Yes, everybody's favourite, VAR. Yeah, it'll be interesting to see what that contributes, and it's probably going to be... No, referee is allowed play on there. I thought that might have been a free kick to Bentleigh, but he's allowed play to continue as City now move forward down the right-hand side. It's a lovely ball in there, and that's a fantastic pass from Jamie McLaren. Metcalf probably could have gone himself there, tried the unselfish thing, played it into the middle, and it was a pretty simple clearance for the Bentleigh boys there. You
could see what he wanted to do. He wanted to try and play that team football and hit his striker in stride, but take a touch and go towards goal, make the goalkeeper commit before playing it, I think is the better way to play that exact situation.
Isn't that a lovely touch from Jamie McLaren too?
Fantastic.
Just that one-touch ball out wide. And Metcalf was in, really. And Metcalf, again, so heavily involved with the good things that City are doing so far today.
It's a name we're saying a lot today. We see another short corner. We're not really seeing him put it in.
Oh, this is... no.
This is, of course, as soon as I say not really putting it in. Atkinson fires a cross in, but no one was there to compete.
It was a bit low, that cross. Wasn't really going to beat the first man, so City tried to recycle it here and come back in. I think it was Luna out there on the wing. And he's going to get the ball straight back and play it into the area, but there is nobody there.
I think that's where we're starting to cross for the sake of putting a cross in. We're not really taking our time and finding the ball we want to make. We're just playing what we think is the right move. So it's a bit more composure on the ball and a bit more forward thinking when you're looking to go into the box is going to be advantageous there. So we see Greens launch another fantastic cross ball, but can't be kept in, and it's a throw in right in front of Eric. How good is his hat? I love Eric's hat.
His hat's fantastic.
I think we've got a case for copyright breach. It looks a little bit similar to our logo, so it's something to keep an eye on.
Scotty Jamieson. He's ending careers.
He likes to think he can get forward, but he's not really showing it yet, is he?
That ball is going to just reach Cabrera, who tries to use Metcalf there again, but it wasn't the best pass, and Metcalf then turns over possession. But Jamie McLaren forcing them back to the keeper here with some good pressing.
So for you Bentleigh fans that are watching this game, I can confirm number one keeper Ryan Scott is not playing, so it's not someone we'll be seeing today. Unfortunate, someone we wanted to see of, but unfortunately he's not playing.
He's going to almost chip him here. Oh.
Speaking of keepers.
Dan Bouzanis almost chipped on a windy night out here at Bentleigh, but ended up being a regulation save for him, and he'll roll the ball out. So I believe that was Wingbickler before our view moved here. And we'll see... there he is, Scotty Jamieson, just wrecking careers. Wingbickler on the ball here. We spoke about him pre-game as well, Matt. Wingbickler, his first start for the club of any kind. An import from last played in
Korea.
I think he was in Austria for last season, but before that he was in Korea. A really well-credentialed player, former K-League Team of the Year. So the guy's been playing in the Asian Champions League. He did score in the Melbourne Victory, which you always love to see, but he's a former... as I said, he's a former K-League Team of the Year player, so he's obviously got quality experience in the Champions League. I think he's going to be a great addition to this back four, especially considering the departure of Bart Schenkerveld. I think he sort of seems like a ready-made replacement for that role, the front-footed defender.
Bart 2.0 is the rumours I'm hearing around the club. They hold him in very high regard, so it's going to be fantastic to see if he can live up to being even close to what Bart is. Then we'll have a fantastic signing there. There is a couple comments asking in about season expectations, etc. We are going to save them because we have got a podcast coming up soon.
Yes.
So we won't go into too much detail on our expectations, etc., because we will cover that in the podcast, which will be available on all podcast apps, Spotify, everyone. You know how to find it. If you don't, hit us up and we'll send you a link.
www.talkingcity.online, Matt. So, going to have a look at the YouTube comments here, and we have got Gaming Greg. Hello, Gaming Greg. Thanks for joining us. He's got a question. Is Luna that good of a player? Gaming Greg, Luna is the best player. He is the best player. He's fantastic. Have you got anything from the Facebook feed there, Matt?
No, I'm currently copying down the Bentleigh lineup. Thank you very much, Matty. I can see you like to throw me under the bus, which I always appreciate. So yeah, we will see. Someone's asked if we can do a roaming Brian after the game. We can't lock in a roaming Brian per se, but we are going to try and get at least one interview after the game. Plus, we don't like Brian Taylor that much, so we're going to call it roaming Matty because, you know, 2 Matties make better than 1 Brian.
Oh, yes, apparently. I did just see a comment from David Barrett on the Facebook feed. How credible is the Welbeck talk? Just like everything else we say, David, not at all.
Except for the odd bit of information that we throw out there with some genuine know-how.
Yeah, well, that'll be addressed on the next podcast. Don't you worry about that. But City here just turn the ball over on the wing, and Bentleigh are going to try to hit us quickly. But that ball looks like it's going out to touch, and that is a City throw-in. So still no goals on the board. Still 0-0 here, 37 minutes into the game. Overall, a bit of a cagey affair. Both sides feeling each other out. We've had a couple of chances, us being City, in the last 10 minutes. But it's been a very interesting game to watch so far, despite the lack of goals.
Both teams have had opportunities to score with Bazanis forced into saves, and we've also forced their keeper into saves. So we will definitely see some goals here at this rate. As this ball's played early, Scotty Jamieson looking to make the cross. Plays it back here. Pardon me. Looks like we're trying to find the early ball here, but it's just not forthcoming.
Oh.
Good idea, but definitely not the right execution.
And there's some nice tracking back there. As I think was that Luna who got stuck in, but there's a ball in from Cabrera. Nice touch from Jamie McLaren. Turns around onto his left peg and hits it wide. A little worm burner. So no goal there for Jamie McLaren, and Bentleigh will get a goal kick. Good defensive transition there from Melbourne City, getting back, though, as they lost the ball and winning it again with that press and then quickly rebounding towards Bentleigh's goal. So that's more of what we'd like to see as Bentleigh advance up the field here. But a bit of a slack ball. It's a little bit wide, and looks like City will be regaining possession here. As we move it back from left back into the middle of the park now. And we're going to make that switch again out to Nathaniel Atkinson. Again, City probing forward into the middle of the pitch. Winbickler likes to play on the ball. We released that interview with Winbickler, I believe, Matt.
He
did speak in that about how he likes to play on the ball. He's a very technically gifted player, so just what you like to see at centre half. And that's a nice ball over the top. And Metcalf goes for the little dink, but it falls short.
We also did cover on his driving ability, which he got thrown under the bus, where he's apparently gone the wrong way down the road. So if you want to hear some more of that. Yeah, at pace. Apparently he didn't realise he was going the wrong way. So cars coming at him didn't quite give it away. So that's something to keep your eye out on, because Craig Noon does go into that as well, and we will throw to a Craig Noon interview during our halftime break.
Yeah, and again, if you want to see more of those, www.talkingcity.online. We have those interviews up, and as Matty says, we'll have one with Craig Noon, which we have not released yet, during the halftime break on this stream. So stay tuned for that. As Bentleigh win the ball and now look to move it in the middle of the park. Some nice little interplay there, but that City press just giving him trouble. Some good pressing here. I am liking what I'm seeing with the press, Matt.
From Bentleigh or from City? Sorry,
from
I'm still
City.
writing.
That's all right. There's Bentleigh now look to move it in the middle of the park. They're into the final third. Potentially an opportunity for a shot there, but they've played on. And
man, those chips smell good as well.
They do smell good.
I feel like we're due for a Talking Souvlaki show.
I would definitely be all about that. As the referee's paid a free kick here. Way of Melbourne City. And Craig Noon just drawing the free kicks. Gets himself between the opposition player and the ball very well, this Craig Noon, and he draws a bit of contact. He did that a fair bit against Campbelltown City
during the FFA Cup game, won quite a few free kicks, gave them a lot of trouble and scored an absolute belter as well. So Craig Noon looks to me like he's going to be a handy player for Melbourne City this year. Very keen to see what he can put forward during the season proper.
Yeah, I think he's got raps on him to potentially be just as good as any winger import that we've brought in. Yeah, I think he's a good enough player to more than hold his own in this league. So hopefully we start to see a bit more from him and a few more goals like he put in last week, because that was a net breaker.
That was a banger. Any player, Matt, that's played 8 years at championship or above, as Craig Noon has done in his career, is a very good footballer. As City calls a turnover here in the centre of the park and now move it forward, spraying it out wide. Bentleigh holding their shape well though, and they force City back towards the centre of the park.
Don't forget, these beautiful new strips are available online for purchase from the City store as well as Rebel, but we definitely recommend you go to City directly and
get your membership discount, mate.
Get your membership discount. You know, we're a club that constantly battles for our membership numbers in the public side, but we get quite a few members, so let's make sure we all sign up as Mark, the media man, enjoys our waffling. How are we not made to sell memberships? Like, this is where we're at.
There's an opportunity here as Metcalf's on the ball again, loping along through midfield. He's a big lad, isn't he, for a young boy? And Brillante, nice one touch there, and City back to halfway and look to move it across to the right now with a nice ball out to Javier Cabrera. He's getting support now from Atkinson, and that's a nice little flick, Nathaniel Atkinson.
Metcalf came back inside to show where he wanted it, but it just wasn't there to be played. Look at Metcalf trying to play it through. Oh, that's a wonderful
That was
ball.
a good ball, actually. Jamie wasn't ready for it. Maybe moving a little too quickly and a little too close to the left peg there, but Metcalf again, impressing tonight. It was a little off target, that ball, but the idea is right, as you see this lovely turn here on the replay, and he's just played that through. That was a good ball. Yeah,
easy pickings there for goalkeeper Michael Stark. Starting to get some names through for Bentleigh, so hopefully in the second half we'll have a bit more for you.
And, approaching half-time here. With the game still locked at 0-0, as we see Paddy Kisnorbo and Eric Mumbats there.
That is our logo, I reckon, on his hat.
I think it might be
giving us some free promotion.
I think so. And we need it, Matt.
We appreciate it. Yeah, I think it's great to see Paddy sticking through with the club. I honestly think it's his job once he's ready. So it's fantastic to see the growth from him, and I think we'll see a lot from him this season. When we went and watched that training session, he was dictating a lot of what was going on.
Very involved.
He's a fan favourite from everyone. Gus loves him because he takes his shirt off. He's almost has as big of ego as Gus does, which is saying a lot. So I hope you're listening, Gus. So yeah, it's good to see him involved, and I hope to see him grow into something even bigger.
It's a nice little diagonal there, but it's just a bit too heavy. Jamie McLaren couldn't get on the end of it. But yeah, Patrick Kisnorbo, I think it's very important, in these sorts of leagues, that when you bring in foreign managers, I think it's great to have a voice real close that has a lot of experience in the league. And Paddy Kisnorbo, obviously, as a former Melbourne City captain, has a lot of experience in this competition and was a fantastic player for the club. So I think having him is going to be really invaluable for Eric. As Bentleigh, that ball, if that went through, I think there would have been some trouble there for Dean Brizanis. And now City on the counter. Craig Noon on the ball, advancing on the Bentleigh defence. Has a hit, and he's hit that from Croydon, Matty. What a hit from Craig Noon. Unbelievable. If he's just going to score goals like this all season, mate, then you know what? Sign up for your memberships now. Sign up for your memberships now. What? Have they called it off?
No, that's half-time.
Oh, it's half-time.
He's hit that on the stroke of half-time. We'll love to see a replay on that.
Absolutely stunning.
What a hit. He's taking the piss.
I'm telling you, that's almost from Muralbark. That's how far he's hit that from. That is absolutely outstanding. Craig Noon, fantastic. What a player.
He's showing his ability now to get on the ball and to score his goals and to make stuff happen. So it's fantastic to see it from him. He's looking to enjoy Melbourne as well. So what a goal. What a man. What a winger.
Just got a comment here on the YouTube feed from It's Yowanats. What are your predictions for the FFA Cup games tomorrow? Melbourne victory to lose.
Sorry, I didn't hear what you said. I was
just answering the question about the FFA Cup games tomorrow. I said the victory would lose, just to fill you in on that. So as we head towards half-time, Matt, so if the fans hang around, they're going to see a little interview with Craig Noon, the goal scorer there, aren't they?
Yeah, correct. So we'll do a little bit of a wrap-up of that half, and then we'll go to the interview with Craig Noon. So I think from what we can just make of that 45 minutes, Bentleigh is going to definitely give us a good run for our money as we see this Craig Noon banger yet again. Bentleigh is obviously showing their class, and to me, they're not a team that deserves to have had the 5-game run that they've had. They're much better than what their record is showing. So anyone who thought this was going to be a cakewalk for City is hopefully eating their words, because Bentleigh is an extremely strong side, and we'll see a lot out of them. They're going to be a contest all night, same as last time we played them. I think for me personally, I'm excited to see the way the boys are playing. We're starting to see more of that product that we're building towards, which is, as I said, the goal of any preseason game. I don't care about the result. It's always nice to win, but if we can see some more attacking possession, more nice crosses, more of the football we want to see, that's our goal for tonight. Get through the 90 minutes, get some fitness, and find our form.
Yeah, and we're seeing some of those in the highlights there, Matt. But yeah, as you say, Bentleigh were never going to be a pushover, and I think it's been a pretty well contested game. Both sides have had their opportunities there, and as you could see at the end of that half, it really took a wonder strike from Craig Noon to open up a separation between the two sides. But that nice cross there, which was just behind, and the majority of our chances in this first half coming from those cutbacks into the box was Connor Metcalf there, who had a fantastic half. If you had to pick a player of the half, Matt, so far, Connor would have to be well up there, you'd think.
Yeah, he's definitely showing he's there's that little move he made where he brings it back onto his opposite foot and plays it through. I think he's definitely starting to show what he's made of, and we're starting to see some fantastic football out of him. So the more he shows now, the more minutes he's going to get in the season, the better he's going to get.
And I think one of the things that excited supporters most when we originally became Melbourne City was the youth, the push of the youth, and we've heard Eric Mombatz as well speak about the drive of playing the young guys if they earn their spot, and to see a guy like Connor Metcalf really having such a good preseason and putting his mark onto games is really exciting to see. We saw Arzani 2 seasons ago. Nathaniel Atkinson's come on a little bit as well. It would be great to see another young player really step up and have a great year. And if you had to ask me to put my money on who that would be this year, I'd be putting a lot on Connor Metcalf.
And it's also a big sign of confidence in him that he's holding out Florin Berenguer and Griffiths. He's holding out 2 senior players to get his position and get these minutes. So that's something that's fantastic for a kid his age, to get that experience and to start building into something bigger and better. Yeah,
to get that trust in the preseason. Like you say, he's starting over experienced players. So, yeah, it is big for him as we see that corner opportunity here where it just sort of fell to the back and went out for a goal kick. So, all in all, a good half of football from us, mate. 1-0 lead at half-time. You couldn't really ask for too much else, I think. And hopefully, if there's some changes at half-time, we see them back up the same style, play aggressively as we have been doing, and go on to win.
Perfect. I think we'll throw to that interview now with Craig Noon, so please enjoy. Let us know what you think in the comments. We will also release that at a later date, but we'll throw to it now and we'll come back with second half action. So we've built that interview up with Craig Noon, but unfortunately we don't have Craig Noon on our software, so we've got Moody
Najjar,
who is personally, he was my favourite interview. I think we had a lot of fun with him, so enjoy that, and we'll get the Craig Noon up as soon as we can.
Yes.
Welcome to Talking City.
Thank
give
you.
You a few quick fire questions, and I want you to just give us the first person who pops into your head. Who's got the best taste in music?
Best taste in music? It's a hard one. Haven't really heard anyone. I reckon I would say myself.
That's okay, you can give it to yourself.
I would say myself. Josh Brilliante's not bad. I'll give it to him.
Best fashion sense?
Fashion sense. Haven't really seen everyone. Yeah, no, we haven't even seen everyone. Everyone comes in different times.
What about on social media? Who's got the most questionable clothing you've ever spotted anywhere?
Lucky Wales.
That's a consistent one.
There you go.
Who's a person you don't want to room with? So on the waitress, who's someone you're signing up not to room with them?
I have no idea. It's a good
Is
question.
there anyone you think would be a grub? You just don't
My roommates already, my teammates, my housemates already, Lockie and Nate. No chance. No chance.
Who's the worst driver?
Worst driver? Worst driver? Haven't been in the car with everyone.
Is there anyone whose car you've just seen and thought, nah, don't want to go near it?
No. Everyone's cars, they've got pretty good cars, man. A lot of the boys. They got pretty good cars.
All in Nissans though, yeah?
Yeah, well, mostly.
Who wouldn't split the bill? So who's the biggest tight ass?
Lockie Wales.
Who's got the worst banter?
Scotty Galloway. Scotty, G. For sure.
Okay, would you rather score a bicycle kick or a screamer from 30 yards?
Bicycle kick.
Yeah.
Or striker bicycle. We can score 30-yard shots already, I reckon. So I reckon bicycle kick is the one.
Perfect, I like the confidence. We'll look forward to seeing a bicycle kick this season.
Oh, let's hope so.
So obviously you've been playing in the NPL a bit, you've had a few chances at a senior level.
Yeah.
What's going to be in your highlight so far?
What's the highlight? My debut was my highlight, I reckon. Coming against my previous club. So that was my debut, which was a good debut for me.
And who was your previous club?
Western Sydney Wonders.
Yeah.
So we won that 4-3 that game. Came back from 3-2 down. So that was probably my highlight, to be honest. Very good highlight.
And you've been captaining the NPL side, am I right? Or you've had a few games as captain?
Yeah, here and there.
And how are you finding being in a leadership role?
Yeah, good. I like to give back, obviously, to the younger boys, helping them out. I was obviously there at one stage, but yeah, it's good to give them a hand.
So obviously you're one of the big talents that are coming through kind of the academy side of things so far, and stepping up into the youth league and then obviously into the seniors when you get your chance. How are you finding that transition from NPL to youth to seniors or NPL to senior football?
Oh, it's obviously quicker. It's more harder, of course. You got to think quicker, but we have the players around us that help us, obviously, provide and do good. So they help us a lot. But yeah, it's good.
What do you think is your best asset as a player?
Oh, finishing, speed. Yeah.
What do you think your worst asset is?
Coming to the ball. Yeah, got to work on that.
What's your favourite goal that you've scored across any football?
Oh, coming over the last couple of weeks, actually. Probably in training, maybe.
Yeah.
Header against the boys probably 2 days ago, against the keepers. So yeah, it's a good header, to be honest with you. So yeah, probably that.
I hear you scored against a friend of the podcast, Cavalides, a few weeks ago.
That's
Do you want
right.
to run us through that one?
That's right. Oh, got a ball played in behind. Pav come out, just put it past him, I guess, and he couldn't do nothing about it. That's for you, Pav.
So obviously confidence is something that you have in your ability. Where do you see yourself in 5 years?
Oh, hopefully overseas, or even staying in Melbourne City. If not overseas, then I'd like to stay here, of course. But yeah, the dream is to go overseas, of course, and play somewhere there.
And what's your goal for this season in the A-League?
To play as many games to get in the team, to be honest. Even if it's bench or starting, doesn't matter. As long as I'm there, just playing.
So CFA is obviously one of the best training centres of the country, let alone the sport. What do you think of it, and how does that compare to Western Sydney?
Oh, it's completely different. Better, good facilities. Wouldn't want to go anywhere else. Best facilities I've ever been to. You got everything here, and they're so professional. Coaches, everything. They help you out. Gym. I think we do the most gym in the league, to be honest with you, nearly every day. So it helps. They help us a lot. At other clubs, I don't think they do that too much. But yeah.
So you find yourself playing in the NPL as well as dealing with the biggest pre-season in the world of football. Does playing in the NPL help you stay focused because you get that game during the weekend, or do you find it a bit of a distraction when you're trying to train with the A-League side as well?
No, it helps because we get game minutes. So, but then also you also got to perform. So then the coach says you can't just go down and obviously don't care. You got to care, of course. You know what I mean? A game's a game. You're here to win, here to play, score, no matter no matter what, whoever you're versing, a goal is a goal. So you just got to do whatever to just perform, I guess.
So Eric's obviously quite an attacking-minded coach, and he likes to play fluid football from what we've gathered. He also likes to give the youth a go. What are your initial impressions of him, and where do you think he can take you?
Oh, he's a very good coach, first of all. I reckon he's done very well, and with all the experience he's had, I reckon he's done very good with other players that have come through the roof. So he's done well, and I reckon he'll take me somewhere good in my career. He's obviously going to show me a lot of skills and whatever I need to do to get to there. So I reckon he'll take me somewhere far.
All right, guys, and we are back from our halftime break there. That was the interview with Moody Najjar. So we did pump it up as Craig Noon, but it was Moody Najjar. We do have an interview with Craig Noon to come during the week, but that was a fun chat. One of the ones we enjoyed the most, the chat with Moody Najjar.
Yeah, he's a confident man, and he loves to have a bit of chat. He did enjoy calling out Pavlidis for scoring that goal against them. You should have heard him off air. He was even harsher, but he's a very confident young man. He scored the winning goal against Oakley with the last kick of the game, so
Yes.
you know, I think we got a lot of raps and a lot of time for that young man, and Rodney especially, he loves him. So I think we should see a lot from him, and we know his dad's a big supporter of the page.
Yep.
So we're looking forward to seeing what Moody can do, because he definitely looks a talent.
The lad is a big unit as well, which, you know, we've spoken about that with Metcalf as well, but he has got a good size for a young kid. You know, he's been scoring for fun in the NPL, and when he came on last year in a couple of cameo appearances, he did put himself around and create some havoc up forward. So I've got high hopes for Moody Najjar. I think there's a player in there. He is still quite a bit raw, but I think there's plenty to be excited about there, and another one of those young prospects we were talking about before that we'd like to see coming through the ranks here at City.
Yeah, I think it's definitely one player to keep an eye on. Hopefully we see him come along as best he can. It really comes down to what he can put out on a regular basis.
Yeah. All right, so we now have a list. We have
Bentleigh
a list
names.
of the Bentleigh names, so we can be a little bit more effective there for the Bentleigh fans that are listening.
The boys have just come back out onto the pitch. Tommy Glover spent that halftime break warming up, so he is on. Buzanis is off. So we're looking forward to seeing what Tommy can do in his, in effectively his non-competitive debut. What would you call a pass mark for young Tommy Glover here? He's, you know, a couple of days into his City career, or technically 1 day into his City career, because he only signed this afternoon. What can we expect from him today, and what would you call a pass mark from his performance tonight?
Look, that's always difficult for goalkeepers, because to an extent you're only as good as what's in front of you. So, look, I think with the way we're going to play this year, it would be important for him to nail his distribution. Tommy Glover, we want to see him hitting targets, playing out from the back. Obviously, a clean sheet would be the peak goal for him, but as long as he's hitting those targets when we're building up and he doesn't make any howlers, I think that's a pass mark for him. You know, he's got a decent back four in front of him. They didn't really open up Buzanis for any horrible easy attempts for the Greens, I guess. So, yeah, for me, it's just mainly that distribution you want to see him nailing in his first outing.
Yeah, it'd be good to see his nerves here, playing against, once again, a good side, so it's not as if he's playing against someone who we're not expecting to be competitive. So it's going to be good to see how he reacts to that and what we can see from him. He's
been in a Premier League academy, mate, so I don't think nerves will be... And he's played for the mighty Central Coast Mariners last season. You know, you predicted the top of the table at the start of the season, so...
I didn't go top. I said they'd make finals.
You know, so... You know,
I thought Matty Miller would carry him, but he couldn't carry him far enough.
He did carry him, but he just didn't carry him high enough. But I think, you know, he is a sort of guy that even though he's on the younger side, I think he's 21, Tom Glover, he has played and experienced, you know, things that a lot of kids that age haven't. So... You know, I don't think nerves should be too big a problem for him at all.
Yeah, it's going to be good to see him going through the pace and seeing what he can put out this half. We're getting ready to almost kick off again this second half with Bentleigh kicking off, and they'll be attacking to the right-hand side of the
out
screen.
there as well, which is quite topical given the interview at half-time.
Lauren has gone out there as well. It looks like he has taken Metcalf's place.
And Moody on for Jamie McLaren. So
they appear to be the only changes at this point.
Anything else we'll let you know. But that's a nice touch there, and
that's Moody.
Ooh, no,
oh no, sorry, that's Florin.
Yeah, that was the touch from Moody that played in Florin. But nice little touch there from Moody Najjar, and Florin with a good run and hit, but it's a little too close to the goalkeeper.
I think this year with Florin playing in his natural position as a centre attacking mid, we're going to see a lot more from him. You know, he was much maligned last year from the fan base, but he was playing out of position, and it is quite hard to play out of position and be effective enough. So it's going to be a good test for him this year to see how he can go in his natural position. He's showing a lot of promise, so let's hope he can really nail that onto real performances every week, as we see here he shot on goal.
Yeah, he had some good touches against Oakley and Campbelltown. So he is a more centrally, from what we understand, he is a more central player. Has played typically a little deeper than where he was playing, stuck out on the wings. So yeah, you would hope that moving into a more familiar space will assist him this year, because you do need to nail your visas in this league, and obviously having all 5 of them being Jets is what you need to do. So we now switch it across.
The team with the best visas normally wins the championship. That's the way to look at this league. If you're not getting that right, then you're going to struggle. As we see, Tommy made his first touch as a City player. He played it out wide to his left back. Welcome to City, Tom. As you see here, a foul, probably needless, and Bentleigh get the free kick here at the back. Curtis Good back on the ball, nice and composed, plays a nice diagonal ball. That's one position we haven't talked about. We still do have quite strong depth at centre-back with Harrison Delbridge sitting out this game, who did start against Oakley and also Campbelltown. Where do you see Curtis Good coming into this? Is he the backup, or do you think they're all competing for that starting 11 position right now?
Look, it's as Bentleigh come down the left-hand side here, I think that's Jacob Alexander, crosses into the area, and yeah, sorry, Matt. Look, I think it's a pretty interesting question. Look, I honestly think Winbickler is probably your first choice centre-back overall. But where you go from there, I mean, as we just sort of go back to the game here for a second, Noon playing it out wide. I believe that's Cabrera. And he's turned it over there. But I think it's an interesting conversation, because Delbridge was, in my opinion, just about better than Schenkerveld last year. I think he was really underrated. He was a fantastic centre-half, one of the best Australian centre-halves in the league. So where you go there, I would probably have Winbickler and Delbridge as my nailed-on starting partnership as we turn it over here in the area. And
Tommy
almost hand a goal to Bentleigh here. Did Tom Glover get hands to that? Did he get gloves to that?
No, it appears it's gone out for
It is a
goal kick.
It is a goal kick. But I think that would be my nailed-on partnership there, Matt, as we see this shot just go wide. But Curtis Good is a very talented player, and you could definitely shake that up. You can never account for injuries and drops in form. And Curtis Good will get plenty of games this year, I would think.
Good to see Tom have to take a goal kick straight after making that mistake and force him straight back onto the horse. So hopefully we see him a bit more composed on the ball and playing a bit more of his natural game.
A couple of young fans who thought they were going to be on the broadcast there, but
I'm not quite sure they know how a camera works. It's not down here. It's in different positions, but good on them.
We love the enthusiasm. That's what you want to see here. And you get a lot of that at the local grounds. Some enthusiasm at these MPL grounds.
Good food, enthusiasm.
Yeah.
What's not to love about
Family
local football?
days out. There's another nice diagonal there. Craig Noon plays it inside.
Oh, he's pushed him.
Ooh,
Oh,
that's
going to be an interesting replay to see there, because there was, I think in footy that would be a
VAR?
push in the back.
VAR here at the friendly level.
Well, we can provide the video. Sportscast is giving us high enough quality
Atkinson
that we can do
just
it.
sits him down. Sorry to cut you off there, Matt, but Atkinson plays it in. It's a goal!
There it is.
And it's Adrian Luna. No. We're getting a bit of outside pressure there for a Uruguayan goal celebration, but I don't quite have the courage for that. But that is a scrappy goal. But Nathaniel Atkinson, as you can see here, he's cut inside and just sat the Bentleigh defender down, plays it into the area. It ricochets around a little bit, coming off Najjar. It's probably technically an assist, but Luna just pops it home, and that's 2-0 to Melbourne City now.
That was deliberate from Moody there. If you watch it here on the replay, he definitely cushions it back. He's not trying to deflect that in himself. He plays that back for him, and Luna smashes it. Don't look at me like that, Mark. Matty agreed to do it, and he backed down.
I most certainly did not. All right, kick off. So
I've never seen a man more disappointed than Mark is right now.
City win it back immediately, and they play it out wide to Craig Noon now, who's cutting inside with the ball. Plays a lovely ball to Najjar, who tries to tap it back for Luna. And the yes, ball back into the back third for City, and we'll just push it back into the middle now. Played out to Florin Berengay. He's had a couple of quick touches, nice and early here.
Good little step over there from Florin. He's my boy now.
He is your boy, and he's played it out to Craig Noon, who is everybody's boy, the big man.
To be fair, when you score goals like he has this season, I think you're going to be
look,
everyone's
that's
boy
some
forever.
lovely interplay there. As Berengay's in the area now, plays it in. Can't find a target, but some nice play there from Melbourne City. As I think that was Adrian Luna getting stuck in there and ceasing Bentleigh's play out from the back.
We're seeing a very different City style here in the second half, with a lot more pressing, a lot more.
Look at this!
A lot more one touch, trying to play that quick in the attacking area. It's impressive to see, and we're seeing a lot of ability from guys that you're not expecting these little quick touches, and a lot of link-up play, which is fantastic and very giving us a lot of optimism for the season coming up.
And Bentleigh managed to play out of the press there, but quickly turned it over as City moved back up the wing and also turn it over, and now Bentleigh will try to advance.
And it turned over again.
Oh my goodness, it's a calamity of errors here at the moment. I think that was Atkinson just playing a little dink towards the edge of the area, but there was no one there to get on the ball.
He got nervous, there wasn't a turnover for 5 seconds, and thought, well, I better give one.
Yes. There's some nice interplay here from Bentleigh. That's a very meaty challenge by, I think that was Moody Najjar, and he hits it!
Oh, good save.
It's hit the post. Fantastic.
That is a wonderful save. Fingertips to put that onto the post.
That was a very, very nice piece of play from Moody Najjar. They're winning the ball back and then really working the goalkeeper. Very unlucky not to score.
That's what you get from a player like Moody, who's got that physical strength. He's able to shrug off a defender and get his touch in and get a shot off.
I think the halftime interview motivated him, Matt. I think he was sitting in there in the rooms having a bit of a watch. He was probably watching the stream from the bench, because I know I would be.
I know I was guilty of that the other day when I was on the bench for my Sunday League side. I had my Foxtel Go going up watching something else instead of my own game. So shout out to Seaford boys. I was not watching you play, sorry. Not really that sorry though, it was better to watch what I was watching.
Bentleigh trying to advance through City here. There's a shot there, and that's wide.
Not sure Tom knew where his post was there. He kind of looked a bit worried after seeing it hit the side netting, but
it's all right. It's all right.
Must have taken a deflection. That makes more sense.
He's just used to having those sauce bottles behind him. It can be a little disorientating as we see Moody Najjar here winning the ball back. And a lovely left-footed strike, working the goalkeeper and just clipping the outside of the post.
Tommy's wearing the number 1. He's taken that straight over from Birighetti, so that's good to see some faith put in him by the club.
Well, you know,
kind of got to have number 1.
Dino rocking the old 23, the old Michael Jordan.
I think it's for Bruno. I reckon that's his inspiration.
I reckon it's the old Michael Jordan, and plus the Los Angeles Lakers version of LeBron James. I think that's where Dino's going with it.
We'll have to ask him if we get a hold of him.
Potentially the old Anthony Rocker as well.
Sav wore it too, I think.
36 for Big Sav.
I think yeah.
There's Lambaridis, I believe, here on the ball. He's played into the area. It's a nice turn. Lambidaris. I was close.
It was number 11.
No, that was, oh yeah, it was too. Well, I tried for the Bentleigh fans out there, and I failed. As Bentleigh now here have a throw in. This is where your old Rory Delaps would come in handy.
That's a foul. Yep.
Yes. We haven't seen too many fouls tonight, which the referee has let play go for the most part. And it's
Craig Noon copping a shirt front there. You know, he's been kicked all for the first 45. He kicks out at one and cops a shirt front.
So was that Daniel Steins there, number 25, getting a bit stuck into Craig Noon?
No,
Nooney going in with a little kick there. He kicked the ball in. No,
there
it is. Teammate coming across. I'm not sure who that is.
I don't think that's going to bother Craig Noon at all, though. I think he enjoys that type of stuff.
So a set piece here for the Bentleigh Greens. They're going to whip it in. Again, looking towards the back of the area, and it's cleared out there nicely by City. And they'll be able to counter. As
What a ball.
Luna now is on the ball. And that's a nice pass for Moody Najjar, who can hit it here. It's a great save. Fantastic save. Really should have been a goal for Moody Najjar. The City now play it back into the area and it's out, but Adrian Luna with a lovely ball there. And who played that over the top?
I think that was Florin. I think Florin started that whole attack with that early release.
Lovely sweeping counter for Melbourne City. That's what you love to see. Quick football, end to end, good transition.
And that was fantastic play even from Moody there. You know, people see his shot saved in a one-on-one situation and they get a bit antsy, but he's done well. The keeper just made a great save, so good play all round, very positive. Here we see the replay. Luna streaming forward and then playing Moody through as the ball trickles out for a goal kick. That's a great save by the keeper there. Down low to his right, picked it nice and early. Well done, Bentleigh keeper. Michael Stark, I believe it is.
Mitchell Stark. No?
No, I've got Michael.
No.
My list may be wrong. I wrote it while you were talking to me, so it was quite hard.
Nice correction there from Bench Rules on YouTube. 11 is Zidius. Yes, it is.
Hence why I didn't try and pronounce it.
Yeah, but those Bentleigh numbers are a bit small. That's what confused me. I'm going to blame the numbers, not my own knowledge. Meaty challenge there. Ref allows play on, and City now have the opportunity to counter. Craig Noon is completely open here on the left, and he gets it from Atkinson. Craig Noon could be up for a second goal here as he comes into the area. Cuts inside. It's got to be a penalty. And the ref points to the spot. It is.
I don't know if you'll ever get an easier penalty decision than that one.
Oh, no. He's just turned him inside out there, Craig Noon, and he's had his foot taken away. Good bit of offensive play. The switch from Nathaniel Atkinson was fantastic as we just see that great tackle from Winbickler. Nathaniel Atkinson here plays it over the top. That's a beautiful ball, Matt.
That's really well played. He didn't try and overhit it. He didn't try and put it too fast for anyone. He just played a nice ball.
And that's
He's kicked him in the hip.
Yeah, it's a nice little cut back there from Noon, but not much of a challenge from, I believe that was that Jack Webster, number 5.
Moody taking the penalty, strolls in, sends the keeper the wrong way and hits the post.
It's bounced out.
We got him too fired up with that interview.
Oh, we did.
He's hit the post twice.
Oh, Moody. Moody's found the woodwork from the spot there.
Rodney, please respond.
Yes, Rodney, please respond if you're watching. And it's
gone out for a goal kick, and we've got a raft of substitutions here with Griffiths, Rami, Wales coming on. There is 2 others who I can't quite make out because Rami's in the way.
Get out of the way, Rami.
A couple of youth league boys coming
Denny
on
Jonro
as well.
there,
Denny.
I believe.
There we go. The first ever person to come onto our podcast twice.
Yes, Denny Jonro. No, well, it wasn't the first person. Oh, first person to make a second appearance, yeah. First guest on the Talking City podcast was Barnes. Old Barnesy from the W League side.
It was a good interview as well with Lauren. She's fantastic. Hopefully
so
she'll
what
be
other
back
change?
over
We're
this
seeing
year.
Craig Noon come off there. Now we've cut to the interview here. But sorry, not the interview. The highlight as Moody Najjar strikes the base of the post, comes across, but not enough. Not enough.
Sent the keeper the wrong way though, so that's positive.
Yeah, so
just got to give him something. So here we go. We can see that Scotty Jamieson has actually come off. So there is going to be quite a different City lineup for this final half hour or so.
I'll head towards the old Twitter space there, Matt, and see if I can get the changes for us. As soon as we get that information coming through, I will broadcast it to you.
Speaking of one of those players who've just come on, he's straight on the ball and Rami's making runs to cut in. Griffiths has got the armband and he's actually playing at centre-back.
Yeah, well, he can play there. He has done so before in the past. He's got the size for it, and he's definitely got the mongrel for it as well.
So Brillante has come off, and I believe it would be... Oh, Curtis Good has come off also. So that appears to be all of the changes so far. As we see here, the boys are in the box. Moody's got the ball. He plays it back out to Luna. Luna looks wide to get the cross in. It's played in early, but overhit.
Yes, by quite a way there as...
Rami chases it down. He's still got it. He looks at his player. Surely goes 1-8-1. So, step over King.
Step over Steve.
Good, smart build-up play there by the boys to go back when there's nothing on. There's no point forcing it there, so that was well done.
Bit of a slack ball there.
So it appears we've had Cabrera, Jamieson, Brillante, Good, and Noon come off, replaced by Wales, Rami, Karlik, Jonro, and Griffiths.
Oh, that's probably a free kick there. Ref allows play on. And Bentleigh now, they have the numbers here. It's 3-on-2 as the City defenders try to stream back to prevent this. It's played out wide, cut into the area, and it's ricocheted out.
Well done by Griffiths.
It was Griffiths, yeah, it's ricocheted out. I think that'll probably be a corner.
You think? Kicked it straight into the fence.
Oh, look, you never know. You never know. So Glover was coming out there to try to cut it off.
That would be what we need from VAR if that was not given a corner.
Yeah, we would. So set piece here for Bentleigh as it comes into the area, and it is cleared out. Bentleigh, though, try to get it back in, and it's out again, and Moody Najjar now holds it up.
Yeah, well done. Griffiths automatically looking back, but then he plays his bit of skill.
Look at the techers, and he's let it roll out. So
He's showing his worth.
he did win the throw-in. Nice little bit of techers, and here we are. Look at, oi, the turn. The turn.
That was lucky.
Oh, my God.
We're starting to see a bit more of control now by the City boys. They're not giving up the ball as often. Of course, as soon as I say that, he almost gives it up. But we're starting to see a bit more possession rather than just trying to play quick. They're starting to try and control the game now for this final
I believe they call
30
that,
minutes.
I believe they call that the curse of the wannabe commentator, Matt.
Look, I'm a bit hurt by the wannabe part, but you're right.
It is amateur hour here, but it's going
Not on the
all right at this
broadcast,
point.
though. Thanks to Sportscast, we've got a very, very high-level broadcast being brought to us here by the boys at Sportscast Australia. And we once again want to say a massive thank you. We gave them 24 hours notice, and this is what they've pulled out for us. This has been nothing short of amazing, and massive thank you to everyone involved, and also to City for allowing us to have this to happen, and also Bentleigh for being involved and giving approval. Would have been very easy for him to say no.
And for the viewers for tuning in, thanks, guys. We hope you're enjoying the coverage and getting to watch a bit of football on this Tuesday night. All tucked up and warm at home, I hope, because it is freezing out here as there's a change there for Bentleigh.
William Demanis coming on now to play the final
And
28 minutes or so.
James Zidius heading the opposite direction.
Well done.
So another set piece here for Bentleigh. That's floated right up into the area, and this is going to be contested, and that was Webster heading it in. Nice easy take for Glover, who plays a powerful throw. That's a beautiful throw out, launching a counter-attack here. And the diagonal to Tarami is on, but couldn't quite hit him, and a nice easy clean-up for Stark.
Good play once again. Those diags are really opening up the game here for the City boys, and it seems to be catching the Bentleigh team unaware at this point.
Now, this game's opened up a little bit in the last few minutes. Both sides are finding a little bit more space in the centre of the park after a game which was fairly congested in the first half, and this ball threw over the top. Out comes Glover. He's off the line, and there was a speculative attempt there, but it is well wide. I said that Noon hit one from Croydon before. Well, this one almost ended up in Point Cook. Out the other way.
You're not really good with your compass, are you, though?
Well, because it's going the opposite direction there, fella, so it would go west.
Yeah, you'd be disappointed there if you're the Bentleigh team. You'd want to be seeing more made of that opportunity there where you've got an open net to aim for.
Ooh, Griffiths is having a party out here tonight. Full of confidence as Florin Berengay holds it up and plays it back. And Matty, we should say again that for those that have just tuned in, this is a Talking City stream, so we do a lot more Melbourne City-based content. We do have a podcast which is recorded in partnership with Podular Media, who you may know through the Daily Football Show, so check them out. And if you do want to find our podcast and some more of the content that we do, like the interview we had at half-time and some articles we post during the week, you can go to www.talkingcity.online. Find all your information there. And we are also on Facebook and Twitter as...
And Instagram. It's very quiet on Instagram world, but we do have it.
Hopefully more active this season.
It is already, so...
So that's what I like to see. That's what I like to hear as well.
I did get called out with my first post. Posted something, and then someone was like, "It's been 2 years, mate. You got to post a bit more regularly." And I'm like, "It's a bit harsh, but I think we've got to cop that." So, what do the Daily Football Show provide, Matty?
They provide content about football every day. So, look, they do have a focus on the local game. So, during the A-League season, they have a lot of content regarding the A-League and some chat about the NPL as well during the A-League off-season. They obviously talk about Australian players overseas, so you do get a little bit of that top league content like the Premier League and La Liga and the rest of them, especially with a focus on Australian players. There's a heavy Liverpool contingent to it, as Beaker does love his Scousers, but it is a very good podcast, and they do have fantastic guests, often from either the media, players at football clubs as well. So look, if you are a football fan in Australia, you really should be checking out the Daily Football Show to get all your content there across the different the different clubs, I guess I should say. And if you're a Melbourne City fan, then you check out Talking City for the specific stuff.
Just finally, who's your favourite Daily Football Show host?
I'm going to have to go with Rob, the Big Beef Crawford. That's my favourite. He's a good fella, Rob. He's come on the Talking City podcast a few times. I do love Adrian, but he just goes on Liverpool too much. And Frusci, as far as Frusci goes, mate, until Freebie accepts Angus Hall's challenge to debate him about the merits of going to Young Ajax, then I don't think he can even be on the list. As City come in here with another short corner.
The debate, I forgot about that. If you'd like to sponsor the debate, don't be afraid to hit up the Talking City page and we'll make it happen.
Yes. So back to the game now. 66 minutes in, still 2-0 to Melbourne City. As we sort of said a couple of minutes ago, this game has really opened up in the last few minutes. And if you're just tuning in now, you're getting some pretty good football. As City win it back in the middle of the park, try to play it out wide, but it's cut off very easily by Bentleigh. And they'll now look to move down the right-hand side.
So we see here Daniel Stein's on the ball. He plays it back to his centre back. It's out wide here to Dumanis. Dumanis plays it back again to Tyson Holmes. That name rings a bell.
Yeah, Tyson
Holmes.
Holmes.
A-League.
I'm not sure. I'm going to be honest. I'm not sure if he's played in the A-League, but he has been at Bentleigh for quite some time now. He's a very handy player, Tyson Holmes. Part of some very good sides with the Greens over the last few years.
And, there is a few games left in the NPL season, so if you're looking for something to do over the next few weekends, hit up your local NPL side. They do provide great football. I know this week there is a standalone game between Oakley Cannons and Heidelberg United, which is actually a farewell to Olympic Park. So if you're around the area, it's definitely worth dropping in and having a look.
Yeah, it's definitely good to check out your local NPL side. I actually encourage whatever level your local side is at, whether it's state or NPL level, check out who your local team is and try to get down to watch some local football, because there's a good community atmosphere at a lot of these clubs. As you say, good food, which we love. It's a good family day out. So
there's a bit of a mullet going on there for young William Dumanis.
And I respect a mullet. That's I like that.
We haven't been able to get a shot of the most famous Bentleigh Greens mullet as of yet. Hopefully he's still here around the ground, and we can get you a shot.
The fan.
As we see here, as City is starting to look to play forward again through Wales, cuts back in.
A
couple step overs, plays it back to Luna, who's in front at the top of the box, plays out wide to Rami, who takes on his man, puts the early cross in. It's been deflected back to the keeper. Look at that. We see a good group of City fans there. It's good to see people, as I said, come out and support these games. The more people that can come to them, the better it is for everyone involved.
Good to see a contingent of the youngsters as well making it out on a Tuesday night and enjoying the game. It's a good family occasion. It's
the best way to see the players as well, in terms of if you want to have some more direct contact. This is your best chance, because you've got a chance to actually speak to them and have a bit more time with them compared to at Amy Park.
So I tell you what, Matt, while we're here, let's have a go back to the Facebook thread here. Have you got the comments up there?
Hang on, we've got Luna playing it through for Rami. Might have been caught offside here with a quick offside trap, but Stark comes out and collects it. He plays it out quick. We've got Dumanis playing on the ball, cuts it back inside, and now Bentleigh are starting to control the ball again rather than play quick. As soon as I say that, they turn and play a nice ball forward. Dumanis, the mullet.
Oh, that's a great tackle.
That's a great tackle. That's young Carrick, I believe it is.
And now Florin on the ball here. He's going to play it out wide to Rami Nazarene. Plays it back into the centre to Florin. That's a nice little 1-2, and then he's gone out wide. Lockie Wales, couple of step overs, and deflected out for a corner. So another set piece for City. I expect we're going to see another short corner here, Matt. But during this lull in play, while we just look at the replay, what have you got on the Facebook comments, mate?
We've got just a lot of comments. As you do.
As you do, yeah.
There's a couple people saying thank you because they couldn't make it. There's a couple in Ballarat, one guy in Glasgow, so we appreciate all the support here.
Fantastic, Glasgow.
It's fantastic to see what we're getting, and we're trying to give a bit more of a relaxed view of it with a few more Bentleigh names now, which has been requested.
Lockie Wales darts in there for the short corner.
Just to cut back on that play that got us to the corner. I'm a little bit disappointed there. If you're Lockie Wales, you'd be if you're going to do a step over, you've got to then move the ball left or right to try and get your cross in. You can't just nail it into the bloke in front of you. I think that's a criticism we have of a lot of young players, especially A-League based players. They do the little move but don't actually go anywhere. So I think that's something we want to see more of from all of the boys. If you're going to do a move, you've got to move left or right to make sure that you're kind of making it worthwhile.
There's a sub here, the big man, Matt Thurtell, coming off. Bentleigh's real danger man. So he's coming off the field there.
Start coming off as well. And just to touch on that, Matt Thurtell is a very, very classy player, and he is a very good player. So the fact that we haven't said his name much this game, although we didn't have the list to start it, but we know it wasn't him making too many of those runs, is a real testament to how well our defence has looked.
They've kept him very quiet.
He's a very good player, and it wouldn't surprise me if he finds himself onto an A-League list in the next year or two.
Well, with the expansion especially, it's really going to open up doors for some of these NPL stars. As Florin, with a nice turn there, then plays it back out to Courage. He's now darting in.
He's been invited in and he takes it.
He's got the ball back and he plays it. There's a nice little bit of interplay here with now, I think that was Luna on the ball.
That was Luna who put in the cross.
Moody Najjar tries to loop it over the keeper, but just couldn't quite get the lift on it. It's going to be a pretty easy save. So
that looks like it might be Tom.
Turnover. Oh, that was very, very slack there from the Bentleigh Greens back four, and I think it was Wales getting in there. So we see the Sportscast replay here.
Looks like we've got Tom Barnard-Smith into the action for Bentleigh and keeper, replacing Stark. Number 31, yes.
Good call. It's Sydney back on the ball here. Really put the foot on it possession-wise the last 10 to 15 minutes. As Rami Nazarene, a couple of nice passes there with Courage again. Oh, that's a lovely ball through. He's onside. Oh, no, I don't know about that.
Now, I think that was a pretty clear one. He was a few metres off there. Yeah. You can tell by his reaction he hasn't gone very quick.
Now, this isn't a side on camera, but
you can see he's off there.
Oh, yeah, I think you're right. I think you're right. That was the biased, the one-eyed fan in me speaking.
Which is ironic considering you support both sides.
Yeah, true. Ooh, closed down well, but the keeper got the kick away, and City come away with it again in the midfield, though.
We can see here the youth of City and the younger lads, as well as Griffiths, I should add, because he has had some fun, are starting to show their skills and starting to take players on, which is something that's only going to be a positive for the boys to get a bit more experience, a bit more practice against these guys, and make sure that what they're doing is going to work against the big bodies.
Side again. Green's catching
City Wales off that time.
The higher line the last few minutes. Bentleigh Green pushed up a little bit.
Man, is that genuinely our logo on his hat?
The
more I look at it.
It's a nice jacket, I'll tell you that much.
Yeah, they look very pretty, and we can't wait for the Puma range to be released fully with the training gear on its way. Having Puma come on board is only positive for the club, and we look forward to seeing some extra range from them, and hopefully that silly A-League rule where you can only have a certain amount of clobber from your own kit supplier is lifted soon, and we can really start to explore what Puma's got to offer. Crazy rule, though, that you can only have 8 pieces of kit from your own kit manufacturer. Yes. Man, that is our logo on that hat. Do you reckon we can get one?
One. Get 5.
Oh, I don't care about you guys. I just want one. There we go. The third goal has been put in. Rami Nazarene puts it away into the bottom right corner. We'll have to see a replay of that to give you some more in-depth discussion around it. Nice turn here. Great play by Luna to Rami, who just calmly puts it away in the bottom right corner.
And it's 3-0 now. It's been, as we've said quite a few times, it's been a lot more open in the second half, and City have been able to get on the ascendancy a bit. A few changes from both sides, which obviously, some of Bentleigh's better players are off the field now, but it feels like it's getting a little bit more comfortable for the boys in Sky Blue, or in City Blue, rather. It would be nice to put another couple away before the end of the game, to be honest.
A nice professional performance would be what we want to see here to close out this game, and it's a valuable chance for these young guys to put some more balls in the net and get a bit more practice against quite a good outlet.
Lots of ball being won high up the pitches. Rami Nazarene now comes into the area, and Oh, Luna almost... Oh, that's a fantastic save. As Florin Berenguer approached that one late, and he's still yet to open his account for Melbourne City in friendly or otherwise. A fantastic stop. It's Rami Nazarene, Nathaniel Atkinson here on the ball, rather.
I would like to see that again, because it did look like the Bentleigh player caught that ball. It did stay in the air for a long time, so I look forward to seeing our sportscast replay on that.
The sportscast replay will be very interesting as City played around the edge of the area now. It's back out to Nathaniel Atkinson, who's been quite good tonight out there at right back.
Good little big step over here, played straight into Moody, who controls it under his foot but can't get his shot away. Comes out to Carrick, who beats his man and then can't beat the second one. And then has to give away the foul.
Oh, nice finish though.
Yeah, good finish. Very good finish. Pity it was when the whistle had gone, but good finish.
So we're going to see this this scrap here. Now, yeah, there was a...
He catches it. He's been watching the Ashes. He's taken a catch to dismiss someone.
Did drop it though.
Yeah, he could be English.
So there's another change being made here. I believe that's James Zidius, who bench rules on the YouTube comments, is a big fan of. Definitely best right back in the NPL, and he's ready for the A-League. It's the feedback we've got there. So
he's looked good tonight.
Yeah, he has looked good. He's been involved quite a bit, and as we were sort of saying before, as we see these expansion teams come into the comp, a lot of these NPL stars are going to get opportunities as the need for Australian talent increases at the top level.
And as the championship comes to fruition with the second tier, it's going to give even more opportunities for these boys to try to play professional football. We see here great ball by Wales, but way too much pepper on it.
Not sure if it was a great ball. He was a little bit...
Look, Rennie will kill me if I criticise him, so I'm just trying to be diplomatic.
Lost wallet at the ground. It's been handed into the canteen, so if anyone's listening live from the ground, why would you be?
It's played in early for Luna. Bit of a heavy touch, almost kills the chance, but he's still fighting.
Quick feet here. Oh.
Good save there by Baynard Smith.
Was a bit close to the keeper there from Luna, but quick feet to get free of it after initially getting it stuck under there a little bit. And again, City winning the ball back high up the pitch here. This press has been real strong from City, and Rami Nazarene. This is some nice quick feet from him as well, and he does turn it over.
And takes a bit of a well-earned rest.
Yeah, has a bit of a sit down on the ground as Bentleigh now bounce back. But again, City winning the ball, and we've been speaking about it all night, this press as Rami Nazarene goes for that quick ball out to Carrick and turns it over.
Denny John Rouse he's starting to get busy on the ball here, Denny. He's making his runs and really trying to make something happen.
And again, City winning it high up the pitch in their offensive half. And that is definitely a free kick to Florin Berenguer. His legs taken out from under him there.
So we'll come back to some Facebook comments because you get called out a little bit, which is pretty fun.
Oh, do I?
Someone asks you, do you really think that Delbridge is better than Schenkeveld? And someone here is actually on your side and said Schenkeveld was error-prone.
What I actually said is that I think that Harrison Delbridge had a better season than Schenkeveld last season. I think that Bart Schenkeveld is one of the best centre-backs I've seen in this league for years, but I think Harrison Delbridge's season last year was underrated. I feel like he was probably a better player for Melbourne City last year than Bart Schenkeveld was. I'm not saying that Bart Schenkeveld isn't a big loss because he's a huge loss, but I do think Delbridge is a fantastic centre-half and one of the best Australian ones in the league. So, yes, that is how I will answer that one. Thank you for that, for the person who supported me. Who was that? Who backed me up there, Matt?
Someone, Warren. I got off that page. Sorry.
Okay. Thank you, someone, Warren. It's now been played out to the left-hand side. Nazarene plays it backwards and... City have now moved it out to the right-hand side through Atkinson. And a bit of a, not quite sure, a bit of late contact there. Referee has paid the free kick. It's hard to see from over here, but there was definitely a bit of late contact.
So yet another sub. Looks like Luna coming off there. So we'll start to see a predominantly youth side now starting to play their football, and that's what we want to see for the last 10 minutes or so. So once again, If you aren't a member, now is a good time to sign up. If you are looking for some merch, it is also a good time to get some via the Melbourne City shop. You can also get your jersey printed from there. And they look very nice. Both Matty and I have got one each. I've got the white, he's got the blue, and they're fantastic. They go up to 3XL this year, so the bigger boys will be happy.
That's what you like to see.
So we can see here Denny getting on the ball, looking to play it out wide. That's a great through ball there by Atkinson. Played it out to the fresh interchange. He's played it across the line to Rami, who just didn't quite get to that ball, and the Bentleigh player has been able to put it out for touch.
Nice little close-up there of Rami Najering, roaming around on the left-hand side. He's had a pretty good night after coming off the bench.
Yeah, he's showing his worth, isn't he? And that's really what these games are about for those young lads, to show what they're able to do and then try and push for more minutes during the season, which is something that Eric has said previously. He will reward form and he will provide chances for the youngsters. We see here as the ball cuts back into the box, a scuffed shot is cleared by Bentleigh on the penalty spot. The ball is won back by City here. Can't quite see who it is. It looks like Atkinson. Atkinson plays it through. We see it played out wide here, looking for the early cross, beats his player. Now he's coming into the box and puts it across goal, and no one is there to meet it. They're both too far across. A bit of miscommunication there from the strikers. One should have been at the back post and one should have been going near post, but unfortunately that's not what we've seen here. So we see Barnard Smith playing with it, looking composed under pressure, playing it out long now. Denny Johnrow has been able to knock that off. He turns now, looking forward. He's got Rami and Moody both on this side, or Rami and Florin, sorry, I should say, on this side. Plays it back across to Griffiths, who has stepped up into a bit more of attacking position to try and keep the play going. We now see Atkinson on the ball, looking up, playing it out wide to Wales. Wales now looking for his pass. Beats his player, passes it off.
Plays it off to Abdullahi. He goes back to Atkinson. And that is now with Florin Barangay back to Abdullahi. And
Atkinson takes a heavy touch and loses the ball.
It over, though. But City once again winning it high up. Florin Barangay doing some great defensive work. And just we've been able to win that ball at halfway and beyond so often this year, early in the Bentleigh Greens attack. And it's just to be able to cut that off and then to launch your own counter very quickly. Very good defensive play from City. And Rami Najering with a good touch now. Looking for options in the middle. He cuts in. Some nice little footwork there. Step over Steve, but he has turned it over. Only as far as Denny Johnrow, though. Who will now push it back out wide to Carriage.
Good to see Scotty Jamieson getting around the live feed on Twitter. I can see he's just liked the footage. So maybe he's sitting there on the bench watching it, or he might have wandered over to the change rooms and gets to enjoy some B-grade commentary while he gets changed and warm again.
Florin Barangay not playing the whistle there. And now Bentleigh Greens move the other way. Ooh, some quick feet there, but a good tackle. I believe that was from Roston Griffiths, the big man, getting stuck in.
And that's great play by Bentleigh to try and open up City on the counter-attack, because City are pushing numbers forward now that they're feeling a bit more comfortable on the ball. So now is the time where they've really got to work hard and make sure they don't give up a cheap goal. Especially with 6 minutes to go, you'd be pretty upset to concede now if you're City. Clean sheet's got to be the focus.
Yeah, well, definitely. You always want a clean sheet in these games. Considering our last friendly was a 4-3 win.
Shootout.
Nice to keep the goals out. That ball has ricocheted around and is cleared out. Some claims of handball from the crowd, and Moody Najjar tries to play it into the centre. And
it was a good idea. He was trying to get it in behind for Wales to run onto, but he hit it too nicely and put it straight into the defender. You see now Bentleigh trying to win it high up the field, and they've done that. That should be their throw. Ooh. We'll take it, but it's not right. See now Griffiths playing it calm across the Windbeckler, however you say it.
Windbeckler, I believe.
Windbeckler. There we go. Bad driver is what I'm going to call him.
Bad driver. Nice ball over the top there for Abdullahi.
Moody's on early.
He's played that in. It's just a little too far in front of Moody Najjar. The idea was right, but the ball was just a little too far out in front.
Again, great defence there from Bentleigh to cut out that opportunity and make sure that nothing comes of it. Looks like we're going to play yet another short corner. A-League's finest. McLaurin now putting in the cross. It's a nice cross, but there's not many people in there.
Ooh, it's sat up there, but
Oh,
another
that's
good
Wales.
Save. There's been some
Rami's
good
had a fresh
goalkeeping
area
tonight, especially on behalf of the Bentleigh Greens. I think they played 3 different keepers.
Two keepers.
Both keepers have had some fantastic saves. As we can see another one here, it's just going to be played out to Lockie Wales, and that is a really good stop.
And then you see Rami with the air swing.
Fresh area.
Thank you to Sportscast for capturing that and giving us in slow-mo. There's nothing better than a good old professional footballer having an air swing.
Yeah, there is. A Falcon, mate.
Oh, a Falcon is good. Yeah, good call. So we see here now, Bentleigh being calm in possession, trusting their keeper, Tom Baynard-Smith, to be able to control that ball and set up their play. They're coming out now. They're starting to stretch their legs towards halfway, but slow down and play sideways. Bit of Joyce ball going on.
Jesus. And that attempted back pass is pretty poor. And now Moody Najjar with the throw in to Nathaniel Atkinson. City have an opportunity here to once again test the goal of Bentleigh. Atkinson coming in and he's hit that. It's blocked. And now Bentleigh will try to go the other way. Let's see how this press of City contains the Bentleigh attack. Can we win it high up the pitch again? Free kick given away.
The right spot to give away a free kick.
If you're
Very
gonna
far
give
away from
one.
goal. Yeah, nice and safe for everyone. But that's the intent that you can see that City have brought to this game, and we expect to bring to this season, where they're trying to win the ball at all costs, no matter where they are on the pitch.
Yeah.
So we see here they're playing a cross goal Bentleigh. They're playing a few.
And you see the players shift across from Melbourne City, just containing those passing lanes for Bentleigh. They're finding it really hard to get out of their back third and get across halfway. And again, they've turned it over and Melbourne City have possession. It's just such a good press. I've gone on about it a lot tonight, but it has been really impressive. As it's played back now to Glover. And City
Good football
spreading
there.
it out wide. It is good football, good one-touch stuff. And you can just see the difference in how easily City are advancing it out of their back half against what Bentleigh are having to put up with when they've got the ball. We talked about fitness in the first half and the fact that these... Oh, here we go. There's a chance. No, didn't quite fall for Rami. But we talked a bit in the first half about how the fitness of these NPL sides, they're in their season and the A-League sides are in their pre-season. But tonight you wouldn't have known, as City again win it high up the pitch. And Moody Najjar now out on the left-hand side, and he plays it through for Rami Najareen. He's got some time on the ball, crosses it in, nobody home. And Bentleigh will be able to clear this, but they're trying to play it out.
You can see Moody getting involved in the build-up play. He's taking him away from where he needs to be, which is ultimately in the box for those crosses. As we see Denny John Rowe going in hard for that ball and winning the throw-in. He was looking much better for his year spent overseas, and looks like that experience has done him nothing but good, and looks like he's growing into another good player. And he's one that could potentially challenge Metcalf for that position.
Yeah, well, there's a bit of depth in the centre of the pitch.
So we see here the ball attempted cross, but it has gone out for another corner. Will we see a short corner?
Yeah, short corner incoming.
Yep, there's two. Oh, is Warren heading over there? Looks like we might actually get one fizzed into the box in the 89th minute here as the Melbourne City boys are up 3-0. And no, there come reinforcements. We're going to see a short corner.
It's approaching full time here. It's been a pretty good game, especially the second half, as Lockie Wales now. Oh. Ball still ricocheting around in the box. Roston Griffiths getting stuck in at the Florian Berengay. Abdullahi. Florian Berengay again.
Getting his head up immediately to try and find his next pass, which is good. Through to Denny in the middle of the field to Win Bickler, he's got a bit of a blood nose for being that high up the pitch, and he's had a rush of blood and tried to put it to the corner.
It really wasn't quite as speculative as it looked. Lockie Wales was in that general vicinity, and it landed quite close to him. Whether he meant it or not, we don't know.
You are a very nice man to give him that one.
Well, we're still on the ball here as Atkinson, look, he's still on it. Goes past another Atkinson.
Have a ping, son. Oh,
he's tried to play the cheeky back heel through and did not come off. And there might be some replays of that one during the week for young Atkinson, who goes in attempting to win it back, and that's full time.
I don't think you'll be too upset. That was a tasty nutmeg he managed to put on.
It was a tasty nutmeg, so that is full time tonight, guys. So we do want to thank everyone for tuning in with us for the Talking City live stream tonight. We've said it a couple of times today, but Sportscast, thank you so much for all their help getting this stream to happen. It has been presented by them tonight. As you can see, all these fantastic camera angles and the replay setup. Not normally the sort of stuff you'd get for a pre-season friendly. So fantastic for them, and also from Melbourne City for letting us help out.
So we're going to take a quick look at the highlights here as we get in position. We are going to have a chat with at least one player here. We're not sure who we're going to get yet, but we will go to some highlights and we'll come back with an interview with a player.
Saturday as well, Springvale away. Oh, really? I was there Saturday doing the Ballarat and City game. Yeah. Sharing the scaffold there as well was a bit difficult. It was hard, yeah. It gets real tight. Yeah, but at Springvale you're going to get angles cut off and everywhere else, so with 2 cameras. Correct. It's a nightmare to do it. Here, so I'm going to stay positioned here. Oh, okay, cool.
Video, Sportscast is giving us high enough quality
Atkinson
that we can do
just
it.
sits him down. Sorry to cut you off there, Matt, but Atkinson plays it in. It's a goal!
There it is.
And it's Adrian Luna. No. The friendly level?
Well, we can provide the video. Sportscast is giving us high enough quality that we
Atkinson
can do
just
it.
sits him down. Sorry to cut you off there, Matt, but Atkinson plays it in. It's a goal!
There it is.
And it's Adrian Luna. No.
You guys, I just want one. There we go. The third goal has been put in. Rami Najareen puts it away into the bottom right corner. You guys, I just want one. There we go. The third goal has been put in. Rami Najareen puts it away into the bottom right corner.
All right, guys, for those that are still with us, do not go anywhere yet. We've got a little bit left. Matty McIndoe is out on the pitch with Connor Metcalf for a quick chat. I'm going to throw to him now. Matty.
Okay, Connor, you're looking good so far this preseason. You got quite a big role so far with starting all 3 games. How is it feeling for yourself? How are you finding it?
It's what I've wanted for a very long time, and it's finally here, and I'm just trying to grab it with both hands.
What do you attribute your rise here? Because we've seen you perform to a much higher level than we could have ever expected from you already so far. What can you put that down to?
Hard work, patience, and just believing in myself is a big one. Yeah.
So you, as you said, you started all 3 games. Which one has been the hardest one so far in terms of opposition? Because we've seen a good game from both Oakley, Bentleigh, and of course Campbelltown City in the Cup, where they did dominate for periods. Which one did you find personally the hardest, and which one did you get the most out of?
Yeah, Campbelltown for sure, because it's a competitive game. Yeah, like you said, they dominated a fair bit, and at times we were on the back foot. They had a lot of opportunities, and for me, yeah, that was the most difficult game so far.
How have you found it? How have you found pre-season under Eric Mombarts? Is it different to what you expected? Is it what you expected? And what are you finding? What do you think of his way of playing? Do you think it suits you better?
Well, it's hard. Obviously, it's pre-season. It's how do you put it? It's ongoing. It's every day, non-stop, mental battle, and yeah, it's going good so far. I'm really enjoying it.
Perfect. Thank you so much for joining our broadcast here from Bentleigh, and well done, and good luck for the rest of the season.
No worries. Thank you very much.
All right, thanks for that, Matty. So for everyone that joined us tonight, thank you very much. I hope you enjoyed the game and the call. To Melbourne City, Bentleigh Greens, and of course Sportscast as well, thank you very much for helping us out to get this stream done tonight and your support. Have a good night, guys. The ball, advancing on the Bentleigh defence, has a hit, and oh! He's hit that from Croydon, Matty! What a hit from Craig Noon. Noon on the ball, advancing on the Bentleigh defence, has a hit, and oh! He's hit that from Croydon, Matty! What a hit from Craig Noon. The friendly level?
Well, we can provide the video. Sportscast is giving us high enough quality that we can do
Atkinson
it.
just sits him down. Sorry to cut you off there, Matt, but Atkinson plays it in. It's a goal!
There it is.
And it's Adrian Luna. No. The friendly level?
Well, we can provide the video. Sportscast is giving us high enough quality that we
Atkinson
can do
just
it.
sits him down. Sorry to cut you off there, Matt, but Atkinson plays it in. It's a goal!
There it is.
And it's Adrian Luna. No.
You guys, I just want one. There we go. The third goal has been put in. Rami Najareen puts it away into the bottom right corner. You guys, I just want one. There we go. The third goal has been put in. Rami Najareen puts it away into the bottom right corner.